Okay, I'm finally back from Ibercon. It's been a week, right? Like literally a week. I stopped streaming my last stream was Monday, and I like packed and finished sewing my hand paws and everything on Tuesday. Oh right, because like from Monday to Tuesday I didn't sleep. I stayed up like 28 hours so that I could like wake up at 4 a.m. on Wednesday to go to this convention, and it went great. It was like overall I would give it like an 8.5 out of 10. I had expectations for this convention. I had my own expectations and reservations about it, right? I thought it wasn't gonna be very well organized. That's like what I thought was gonna happen. Because Ibercon is a second-year convention, right? So the people that are there aren't like the most experienced. They're not the most experienced with dealing with convention stuff and problems that might arise or not. But they have done it last year, right? And so I was expecting it to be like pretty mid, right? I was expecting it to have like a lot of mistakes, like delays and like, you know, like maybe the rooms weren't gonna be like the best or something. And honestly, like my expectations were like exactly met. It was pretty, I'm not gonna say disastrous. It was bad but acceptable. Like that's like the best way I can put it. It was acceptable, right? There were a few inexcusable mistakes about the convention, which I will complain about shortly. But you know, if I'm saying that the convention was an 8.5 out of 10, and I'm saying that the convention, my expectations for the convention itself were pretty low, it means that other stuff happened that made it absolutely amazing, which indeed, you know, other stuff happened that made it like incredible, right? So the only other convention that I've ever gone to is Eurofurence. I've gone to Eurofurence 3 times, and this is my 4th convention ever, and it's Ibercon, right? Eurofurence has been going on for what, 30 years, 20 something years. So it's like a very, very well established convention, and Ibercon is a second-year con, so obviously I'm expecting it to go a lot worse. Which is, you know, to be fair, it is what happened. It wasn't very professional. So I already have a little bit of, since I've gone to a few conventions, I already have a little bit of a idea about what to do at these conventions, right? Like, not make plans, because plans always fall through, right? Like, have some idea of some event that the convention has planned that you want to go through throughout the day, right? Like the convention floor space opens at 10 in the morning and then closes at 2 to 4 in the morning, give or take. So like having 2 or 3 things throughout the entire day that you want to attend is a good idea. Like if you have a bunch of things that you want to attend, then like it's likely that you'll miss them if you have anything else that's going on, right? If you're going to every single panel and you're not really hanging out with anyone, that's not a good time, because conventions are meant to be like big parties, big get-togethers, right? It's like a non-stop like 4-day party that you hang out with people with, and so if you're not really hanging out with people, you're not really, you know, you're not really taking advantage of the convention, you know what I mean? Let me read my chat a little bit. I'm glad to have you back. Hell yeah. Your fur head and paws are so cute. I know. I actually had two, hold on, let me pause here a little bit. I had 2 sets of paws. These paws over here were the ones that had like my forearm showing. They're worse. They're the ones that I made last year, and the ones that I made last week are a lot better, but they don't have the arm showing, the forearm showing. So I had so you know, they have like pros and cons. Okay, hold on. Let me look at my notes a little bit to try and refocus. Again, okay, so and regarding the event itself, again, it wasn't a disaster, but it had some pretty disastrous things, right? It was well organized. There was events. There was a bunch of like panels and parties. There was like a main stage that always had like either concerts or some fun things happening. Like there was like a fursuit Olympic Games kind of situation going. That was fun that I didn't go to. There was concerts, there was raves, right? There was like the opening ceremony, the closing ceremony, right? Like these are standard, like well-organized convention things to happen, and they did happen, and they were good. They were good. So there was that, right? So it was well put together in that regard. There was a bunch of staff. The staff was helpful, and they were organizing things pretty well. There was a fursuit lounge, right? The fursuit lounge. I mean, the only other fursuit lounge that I've ever gone to is Eurofurence, and apparently, given what other furries that have gone to a lot more like many more conventions than me say, that it's the best fursuit lounge ever, and it is. Eurofurrence's fursuit lounge is basically like a refrigerated like warehouse with like racks and racks and racks of shelves for people to put thousands of fursuits in them, right? And there's like this huge section with water, and there's like mirrors for you to put things on. There's like tables for you to with like air dryers for you to like dry your fursuit. There's a section for you to like cool down, to refrigerate your cool down vests, right? So that you can like refreeze them fairly quickly. There's even a section for like fursuit repairs with like glue guns and sewing supplies and like electronic soldering shit, and it's amazing, right? It's gigantic. Also, it's like literally the best fursuit lounge ever. And Ibercon's one, I mean, it was like a couple of rooms. They had gigantic fans. They had like the tables, the air drying tables for fursuits, and they had several racks but it was just a few rooms, and it wasn't refrigerated. They did have water. They didn't have a fursuit repair station. It was like a lot smaller, and this is a way smaller convention, so it was good. It was proportionally good. I would say if they had refrigerated it, it would have been even better. But like this convention, right, is unlike Eurofurence. Eurofurence is the only frame of reference I have, right? Eurofurence is at a convention center that has it has a bunch of stage rooms and smaller rooms, and it has like these huge lobbies with a bunch of like seatings and everything. And this and at Ibercon, it's a hotel convention. So it happened at the Novotel in Madrid, and it's primarily a hotel, but like the bottom floor of the hotel is like a convention center, and it has several rooms and stuff. So it's not really designed for like major events, right? The event had like an attendance of like 700 something, 800 with day tickets, which is pretty good, all things considered. And it didn't feel too crowded. But my point is, because it's like underground and it's underneath a hotel, it wasn't very well refrigerated, which that's like a big takeaway from it. Again, so it had a bunch of events which were good. It had a good fursuit lounge. It had a dealer's den, which was nice. The dealer's den was pretty nice. It was like a standard one. I didn't really buy anything there because I was trying to save money, and there wasn't really anything I wanted to buy. I was specifically hunting for Blide merch, and there wasn't any. Right. It was pretty good. They had an artist alley section, like a time slot, which was pretty good as well. They had a catering service, which, oh my god, this is actually one of the best things that they did. With your convention ticket, they gave you like free coupons for food at the catering service, so you could get like little like meal snacks, right? Like tiny burgers or nacho chips or whatever, right? Which was insane. Like you could cover like a meal, and because you could cover like one whole meal with like just your ticket, one meal per day with your ticket. And if you were staying at the hotel, okay, so this is the other thing, right? I was talking about the stay at the hotel itself. The Eurofurence is at a convention center, right? It has a hotel attached to it, but it's like the Radisson Blue, which is like godly expensive. Oh my god, it's ridiculously expensive. The Novotel is still pretty expensive, but it's like, you know, most people are gonna be buying rooms there and rooming with other people, etc. Right? I've only gone to Eurofrance, right, before, and the hotels I buy, the hotel rooms that I get are at nearby hotels, right, like 5-minute walk away, 10 minutes walk, right, 15-minute walk or whatever. You want to stay close to, if like at Eurofrance, you want to stay close to the hotel, because if you want a fursuit, you're gonna get in suit in your hotel room, and then you're gonna walk the streets of Hamburg, right, in fursuit for like 10 or 15 minutes, and you don't want to get accosted. And also, if you're gonna stay at the raves until 4 in the morning, you don't want to be walking the streets of Hamburg at 4 in the morning for more than a few minutes, right? So I try and get a hotel really close. This convention was at a hotel, right? So
Hamburger?
Hamburg. The convention, Ibercon, was at a hotel. I have never gone to, I've only gone to this one convention, Eurofrance. This is, which is a hotel, it's a convention center hotel. Convention center conventions and hotel conventions are vastly different. They're like two different types, right? On one, the convention center conventions are all about the events and the venue and fursuiting there and going to panels and parties and drinking there, etc. Hotel conventions are partly about the convention space and the events there, but mostly they're about the hotel, right? Like you going to like people's rooms and hanging out with people and in their rooms and stuff, and room parties, etc. Right? And this is the first hotel convention that I've gone to, and I actually took advantage of the fact that it was a hotel convention, right? Like my room was on the first floor, and the hotel and the convention center was in the negative first floor, so I could literally like 1 minute like leave my room, walk down a flight of stairs, and be at the convention center, which was incredible, right? Anytime I tried to fursuit the entire convention, which I will talk about shortly. So anytime I was feeling tired or hot or whatever, I would literally go to my room, like undress, chill for like a bit, and then go back. That was like incredibly convenient, maybe even too convenient, because of that, I wasn't like trying to stay in suit like 8 hours or 6 hours at a time, which would have been great. But it means I wasn't really miserable. I was like chill. I was completely chill. It was amazing, right? And the other advantage of it being a convention center, a hotel convention, is that there were room parties, and I got to go to my room with my friends. I got to go to like a room party, which was amazing, right? Right. So those were the positives, right? It was a hotel convention, which is good. I never gone to one. I didn't take full advantage of it, and next time I go to a hotel convention, I'll try to take better advantage of it. Go to more room parties, cuddle more, blah blah blah. The event itself was fairly well organized, right? Like the structure of it was good. Like the coupons for meals were amazing. The main stage events were incredible. The raves, the concerts, it was all amazing. However, and again, the atmosphere was great. There was like tons of fursuiters, not only from Spain and Portugal, but because it's an Iberian convention, right? It's half Spain, half Portugal, but also like from all over, right? I talked with French people. I talked with a Chilean dude, right? There's people from America, like, and my, the friend that I hang out most with there is Bulgarian, and he's from Amsterdam, so like, from the Netherlands. I don't think Amsterdam. He's from the Netherlands, right? So it's like it was incredible. The atmosphere. However, oh my God. Okay, so let me start. I'll start with the complaints about the convention. The first one, as a bit of feedback, which is something very simple for them to fix that I actually should have maybe even mentioned during the convention, gone to the con apps and asked them for. Like, the main lobby didn't have any seating, right? So if I wanted to hang out at the con space, it was just like this corridor with a bunch of like side rooms for all the panel rooms and stages and dealer's den and stuff. If I wanted to hang out at the con space, I literally had to walk back and forth or like just stand and stuff. And in fursuit, if I'm gonna be in fursuit for like 6 hours, I'm gonna want to sit down and take a breather. I'm not gonna want to be going to the fursuit lounge every 5 minutes. I'm gonna want to, like, you know, chill and sit down a little bit. Literally the only thing that they had to do was add some chairs, some couches, which is crazy because the basement, not the basement floor, the base floor, floor 0 of the hotel is like so comfy. It had like a bunch of like carpets and couches and tables with chairs. It was so comfy, right? It would have been incredible if we could have like stayed at the main lobby, but that was never gonna happen, right? The hotel, it really felt like the convention, right? The convention staff and the convention like struck a tenuous deal with the hotel. It really felt like the hotel did not understand what the hell was happening with furries at all. Because this is the most egregious thing that happened by far. Oh my god, right? The hotel, the staff, the convention staff sent an announcement saying that you couldn't stick around in fursuit in the main lobby. You had to, if you were in fursuit, you had to basically like run through the lobby to get to the hotel, to the convention center, right? If you're taking the stairs or the elevator or whatever, you couldn't be in fursuit, right? And I was like, okay, fine, whatever, sure. You can't stick around the main lobby, whatever. I came out of my room. I went down the stairs in fursuit to go to the hotel, to the convention center. And a security person from the hotel was like, nah, you have to take off your fursuit head. And I was like, and I went up to him and talked to him, like tried to talk to him in English. And I was like, yo, I just wanted to, like, I was just going to the convention center, like I'm just walking through. And he was like, no hablo inglés, solo español. And I was like, I can speak a little bit of Spanish. I tried to like talk to him, but he was like very dismissive. And I just took off my head and fucking went into the convention center and then put it back on, right? It was like, apparently, why? Because they don't want people's faces to be covered. They don't like the fact that people have masks on that cover their face, right? Which is ridiculous. They don't get like how furry, which is like, people were flaming the staff in the announcements, in the comments of the Telegram message. And people were basically saying like, people have to, like, the point of having like a convention badge is that you are identifiable. If someone does some shit and they have their fursuit head on, they have their badge to like signify them, right? Like, and in fact, if you have a fursuit on, you're like way more recognizable than some random Joe Schmo, right? Like, I was the only rat there. If I did something in the main hotel lobby, right, you would have known who I was, right? And they didn't get that, and they prevented me from going to the. They asked me to take my head off, and it's like that happened to plenty of other fursuiters, right? And there's a big deal, there's a big stigma about ruining the magic or whatever, right? Which ever since I got a fursuit, I kind of get a little more. You know, I kind of understand like not wanting to take off your head, not wanting to like show your face and whatever. You're like your persona when you're fursuiting. That needed to be roasted way more, dude. I didn't like the hotel staff, right? It was a problem. It was a miscommunication between the convention staff and the hotel staff. The convention staff said that they basically sprung this up on them. Like, the hotel staff sprung this on the convention staff like one day before the con, and so they were still in talks with them. And so by the second day, the hotel staff relented a little bit more. And I have the feeling it was because the catering service and the people that were cleaning and organizing the rooms and stuff in the convention center, like they walked through the lobby and they saw all the fursuiters and they kind of like got a little bit more of the vibe, and they kind of like understood a little bit more about like what furry and what fursuiting is about, and so they kind of like allowed it, probably, right? That's what my impression was of this situation. And they, oh god, and so by the second day, they had it fixed, right? They allowed fursuiters to like walk through the lobby, right? They didn't allow people to stay, allegedly, although like in future days I stayed in the lobby in full suit anyways, and then they didn't say anything about it. But it was still like a major like fucking mistake. If you're a convention, if you're like a furry convention and the hotel doesn't let you fursuit at the hotel, that's a big blunder. That's like a little bit inexcusable, man. That's a little inexcusable, right? So that's like the number 2 piece of feedback that I have, right? Like, have better talks with the hotel staff. Show them videos of what furry is, right? There was this meme. I think I'm gonna show this meme. That they shared in the thing, right? But yeah, that was mistake number 2. Mistake number 3 was the fursuit parade. Oh my god, the fursuit parade was a fiasco, right? First of all, okay, so fursuit parades happen at you walk around a city block that's sanctioned off by that the convention basically reserves for cars not to go, or whatever the hell, right? Okay, here we go. Did I find the meme? I did not find the meme. So that's typically what happens, right? At Eurofurence, they have like the convention center is right next to like a cute little park. And so we go to the park and we walk around the park, right? And there's like the convention staff is there to help the fursuiters and stuff, and like sanction off the kids and and provide any help that is needed. Hold on, can I open this picture? I'll open this picture like here. Hold on. Okay, this is someone said in the group about the convention, the hotel staff not getting it. They sent a meme. Hold on, I'm gonna try and show the meme. Here. Can let me see if I can find it. But yeah, so the convention didn't manage. So in regards to the parade, the convention didn't manage to talk with the city council to get permission to do like a parade outside of the hotel, which it means there's no ventilation, right? And this meme. Remember, just remove one piece of clothing from your outfit and changes the look completely. Like, this is basically what the fuck happened, right? Like, underneath your fursuit head, people have balaclavas and you have a fucking mask, dude. Whatever, man. Funny watermark. Who cares? Anyway. Yeah, it was like, people were like, yeah, share this with the convention staff so they can fucking get it. Auto loop and yeah. I care. Sure. There you go. But yeah, that was that. They didn't get it. Afterwards, they kind of like allowed it a little more. During like later in the day parts of the evening, when like the hotel had an issue because apparently during the convention time, right? The convention was from the 29th of April to the 4th of May. No, it was the 30th of April. Yeah, it was the 30th of April to the 3rd of May. So it was like the 30th, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. 1st of May is Workers' Day. It's like a national holiday. And the 2nd of May apparently is a Madrid holiday, right? So there was a bunch of people taking vacations during this time for extended weekend, right? So the hotel was like a little bit under strain capacity, right? There was also like a soccer match or whatever in Madrid. And so there was like this event, right? And there was a bunch of other events that like conflicted with this, which is why the city council didn't allow us to take, to have a fursuit parade, a proper fursuit parade, firstly. And, so the staff decided to do the parade inside the convention center. So the convention center was like a small, like, corridor. So we basically like just walked back and forth is what they had planned. Which is still not great. And then they split the fursuiters in 2 groups, like odds, like for the badge number. They split them in odds and evens, right? And then they had the odds go first at like 7 p.m. or whatever into a room to prepare, right? And then they would let like 100. And then what they said was they were gonna let 100 suitors out to walk the hallway, right? And then go to the end of the hallway, take like a group picture with like the 100 fursuiters, and then walk back into the room. And then the second group of 100 fursuiters would go out. They fucking flubbed this so hard. Even this like thing that they kind of like had to cobble together, they didn't stop the 100 fursuiters from going. And I think they just like people just kept leaving the room where people were preparing. And so like a lot of people didn't make it into the picture, and then like people had to like wait in the parade in a line basically for the picture. And then it was a whole mess. And then like then people walked back and blah blah blah. And then apparently the people like didn't find the conditions of the room that they were waiting in suitable. It wasn't refrigerated. It had fans, but it had some music, and people were and so it was very like hot and stuffy. There wasn't any seating. People, they kept the fursuiters there for several minutes, and people were getting hot and uncomfortable, and then they went to the parade. It was just, and so they canceled most egregiously of all, they canceled the second half of the parade. So like half of the people got to take pictures in a chaotic way, and the other half didn't even get anything, right? Which, man, okay, that was like a huge, they dropped the ball. I mean, they tried to make, they didn't schedule the convention at a time that was agreeable with the rest of Madrid, and then to be able to get permission from the city council to walk around the block. Then they didn't, hello Isa, welcome. And then they didn't have like a plan B, and then they kind of like had to cobble it together. And people complained about the conditions of this room, which, by the way, it was this room actually. It was this room right here. So you see all the fursuiters. However, I'll put an asterisk on this and say I was in the first group, right? I was in the odds number of the badge numbers. And I went with a bunch of friends, right? This bear right here, this lion right here, were people that I knew and that I was hanging out with a bunch of friends. I had a fucking blast, right? I thought it was fucking incredible. Like, sticking these many fursuiters into a small, it wasn't small, like, this is a pretty sizable room, with a bunch of music playing and fans. Like, people were, like, dancing their asses off, right? People were like having such a good time. Like, people did like a mambo thing where like they were going around in a line. It was fucking incredible. It was awesome. I had an amazing time. And then again, it was a little bit of a mess to get my picture taken, but I did get my picture taken, right? So I had a blast. I can understand why some people thought it was uncomfortable because there was no refrigeration. There were some fans, but like, and there wasn't any seating. And if you're not like, if your fursuit is stuffy and really warm and you can only stay in it for like 30 minutes at a time, then yeah. I made my fursuit so that I could like, I was endurance training during this convention to be able to like fursuit for like hours and hours on end. So like I was totally fine. And I was dancing and everything. It was amazing. It was amazing. It was great. I had a great time. It was Athletic Madrid and Arsenal. Oh my god, yeah, okay, yeah. Because I saw a lot of people with like soccer jerseys, football jerseys, and stuff during the first days that we were there. Hi, Isa, welcome. For Rising Soon. Okay. I'm gonna, yeah. So, I think those are the main complaints I had about the organization of the convention, right? To summarize, there wasn't any seating in the main hotel, in the main lobby of the convention, which I think is like, come on, man. That's like a no-brainer. And they had a bunch of chairs that they could have used. Whatever. Then the hotel not being in sync with the convention, like, and not letting people like fursuit in the main lobby like at all, was a huge, oh my god, come on, man. And number three, the parade. They should have just canceled the parade, honestly. Right. I'm not even going to talk about, there's other like minor things, right? Like delays, but honestly, like the delays weren't even that huge. They were like, they delayed things by like 15 minutes or 30 minutes at most in some cases, right? At Eurofurence last year, they were like severely understaffed, and they like delayed events by like several hours at a time because it was the same small number of, the same small team, like going from room to room, moving stage lights and things back and forth, between like the stage rooms and everything. And they delayed things by multiple hours. I think they had a good number of staff this year. They had a really good number of staff this year. They like doubled the number of staff. They had 150 staff members for the 800 participants, which is a really good ratio. But yeah, those are my three complaints. My three main complaints, right? They did a few delays, but that's like whatever, right? Who cares? So yeah, it was like, these things were poorly organized. Overall, the convention still felt real, right? It still felt like an actual convention. It still had panels and events. It still had a venue. It had the catering service, right? It still had, the fursuit lounge, which was amazing. It had the dealer's den, which was good, right? It had a bunch of panels, and it was good. It was overall good. It felt like an actual convention. If I rate the performance of the convention team itself, I would give it like maybe a 5 out of 10. 5.5. I would say it was, like, because if they had better communicated with the hotel staff, right? To not have that unexcusable mistake, like if they had allowed fursuits in the main hotel lobby from day one, I would have given them like a 7 out of 10. 7.5 out of 10 maybe, right? The fursuit parade maybe should have been canceled completely, and they would have like docked some points, but like, and it was a mess, and they could have cut their losses short, right? The oversight with the sitting can be like a little bit overlooked, right? So I'll give it a 5.5 out of 10. For a second year con especially, this is amazing. If you take it into, if you're rating it for like a second year con, this is like an 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 even, maybe. 8 out of 10, because again, that fucking mistake is a little bit inexcusable. But like, if I compare it to the other con that I'm gonna go to, it was like a 5.5 out of 10. And then itself, again, for a second year con, 8 out of 10 for sure. So I'm not gonna, again, these are pretty big complaints, and people like fucking flamed the shit out of the convention staff for it, deservedly. But like, I don't like. I had a friend of mine, one of these pursuers that I talked to, the Fox. He was Flames, I think is his name. He was like a Robin Hood Fox. You'll see him in these pictures, right? He said he went to the feedback session, and people just like completely like roasted the shit out of the convention staff and complained very viscerally and like emotionally, and it wasn't really, he felt it and he didn't have a good time going there. I didn't go. So I feel a little bad for the staff, right? It's like these are things that they didn't like foresee. And again, they are valid complaints, but it's like, come on. Okay, that's for the con itself, and that's most of the negatives, honestly. I was very livid about the security guard coming up to me and saying that I had to remove my head. I was quite upset. But whatever, right? And again, so I'm rating this convention an 8.5 out of 10. And I just spent like 20 minutes complaining about what the staff did and didn't do right and wrong, right? And if I'm giving the staff a rating of 5, the convention part of it itself, a 5.5 out of 10, and I'm rating the convention an 8.5 out of 10, it means that the rest of it was pretty good, right? And it was, in fact, fucking amazing, right? Like the convention itself, okay, so before going to the con, going to a furry convention without knowing anybody is a pretty bad idea, right? If you go not knowing anybody, you're literally rolling the dice if you meet people and talk to people, and you have a good time there, right? A convention is what you make out of it, right? If you don't know anybody, and you're just like kind of like sitting in your own corner, not doing anything, you're gonna have the worst time possible at a convention, which is still an all right time. The first convention that I went to, I didn't know anybody. I didn't make any plans. I just kind of decided to go, and I just kind of like people watched. And like, it's very magical to go to the first time you go to the fur convention is kind of insane, right? Like seeing all the fursuiters asking for hugs, like hugs being the standard greeting between furries is something that like people that go to a lot of conventions might take for granted. But like, that's not what happens in real life. People like furries are a lot more snuggly and touch starved and a lot more, fun. And there's a baseline, the worst that the convention can go. Like if you're just like people watching and going to events and like hugging fursuiters, right? You're still gonna have like an okay time, right? But I learned that the convention. One of the friends that I went to said that very correctly, something that I'm very well aware of and that I keep in mind. Conventions are what you make out of them, right? And to give myself better odds of having a good time at a convention, what I do is I try to, for the past like couple of conventions, so this one and the previous one, I tried to arrange with like people that I knew were going, like to like hang out with them, right? At Eurofurence last year, I asked Vance to hang out with him, and so I hung out with him and his husband and like his group of friends, and like between like going to events and then coming back to the same group of people and like just hanging out and being like, yo, do you want to come to this event, or changing your plans, like if like they're going out for dinner and you were gonna go to a panel or whatever, you could be like, actually no, the going out for dinner sounds like a better idea, right? It's like I was gonna eat food later, but I think eating food now with people is probably a better idea, like that kind of stuff, right? Like that is the way that conventions are meant to be done, right? It's like hanging out with people, having a good time, partying, talking, chatting, getting to know people and stuff. Like that's the good part of conventions, right? If conventions are huge 4-day parties, you want to party with people. And so for this convention, I plan to meet with a couple of people, right? And not only that, this is a Iberian convention. I'm from Portugal, and this is a Portuguese and Spanish convention. There was a smaller percentage of Portuguese furries than Spanish and international furries, but the Portuguese community is very small, and so I knew basically like most of the Portuguese furries that went there, right? And so even if I didn't make plans to meet with anybody, I knew a lot of the people that were going, right? I know a lot of the Portuguese furries. So, and my experience with that for this convention for Ibercon was, saying hi to people that I knew. Oh, this is the fox that I was, this is Flames that I was talking to. I met this guy again. Okay, so again, even if I didn't make plans to meet with people, I knew a lot of the people that were going there. So I knew that I was gonna be able to have a good time, worst come to worst, hang out with the people that I already knew, right? But I did make plans to meet with people, which made it a lot better. And I'll get to that shortly. On top of that, on top of knowing several of the people that were already gonna go there that I didn't make plans to meet, and on top of making plans to meet with people and hanging out with, I also got to talk with random people for like extended periods of time, right? Like Isa was with me. Isa took basically all of these pictures, right? And I'll get to that shortly. But I would go up to someone and ask for a picture and a hug and ask them how their convention is going. And that's a great conversation starter. I'll just like let you know. And, you know, talking about how the convention is going, what panels have you gone, like what, you know, like having all these like pre-loaded questions like, your suit is really cute, who made it, why did you choose that persona, like, you know, blah, blah, blah. Like if they compliment, you know, what they're wearing and ask them like a little badge that they're wearing or whatever, right? All these things are like really good conversation starters, and sometimes they don't lead anywhere, right? There's a lot of suitors that are like silent and stuff, but a few times, right, I like stood in spot for like 15 to 20 to 30 minutes just talking with some random person that I never heard of before about other random stuff. And this guy, Flames, is one of them. We had a bunch of really good conversations, and I really enjoyed myself. And that's like the whole of what conventions are about. It's about meeting people, making friends, you know, partying and having a good time, right? So the three like ways that I knew that I was gonna be hanging out with people is meeting people that I already knew, making plans to meet with people that I hadn't met before, and then meeting new people, right? I already talked about how I knew a lot of the Portuguese furries that I could hang out with, right? Like hugging them and being a lot of them were like staff, so asking like how's staff going, seeing them like stressed out of their fucking minds because shit's like going crazy and stuff, you know, and being like and asking if they had food and you know, chatting about things here and there is great, right? And then also, most importantly, I made plans to meet with two people in particular, Isa and Jolan. Isa is one of my viewers in my stream, and I was really looking forward to meeting them. And it was great. We had a good time. I asked, it was apparently Isa's first con, which was, man, I hope that Isa had as magical of an experience going to Ibercon as I had my first Eurofurence, because it was a lot of fun. Again, I said that like the baseline, there's like a baseline of how bad a convention can go, right? Just meeting fursuiters, like hugging them, like hugging as a greeting, right? Like people watching the fursuiters, going to panels and stuff, like just that is already good. I also, you know, hang out with Isa, and Isa gave me some chocolates, which I haven't eaten yet, and I'm really excited to eat them, because I fucking love chocolate. Oh my god. And I asked him to like help me take a bunch of pictures because I can't fucking take pictures. Like you see you see these pictures here, right? Like most of these pictures are pictures that Isa has taken, or maybe Jolan, who I was hanging out with sometimes, or some other person. Very rarely, but it was mostly Isa. Most of these pictures are Isa who took them. That I would give him my phone and be like, hey, yo, can you take a picture so I can like, and I knew this because I wanted to, you know, I wanted to show stream and have a VOD and have a convention review, and I need pictures, you know, and so these are the pictures that I have. If I scroll through this, like these pictures, right here are the pictures that I take, and they're really bad. I thought it was really funny. I thought these pictures that I took are so bad that they're really funny, like these selfies. It's because it's like holding out my, I didn't take a selfie stick, and so holding out my arm as far as it goes over my gigantic head is these are the, This is how as much as I can, as much of a selfie as I can take. So all these other pictures with like me with an actual fursuiter, blah blah blah, are the actual pictures of me with other fursuiters, right? Yeah, it was amazing. I asked Isa for a favor to handle for me, and for handling for me, I just mean take pictures because again, the other friend that I met, Jolyn, was like, oh, I regret not taking pictures. After every single convention, I regret not taking more pictures, because just to show stream, right, or to remember them by. If the thing is, I'm so busy and running around and having fun and going to panels and having food and blah 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 that like I kind of forget. So then I like spend the last day just taking a bunch of pictures, right? And this time I didn't forget, and I asked Isa for help, and he helped me, and he was an amazing help. Isa was so cute. And we shoot, I should have asked him to like come have food with me at some point. That would have been great. But I didn't. But whatever. Well, there's always next year. Let's see. Let me read a little bit of my let me read a little bit of my chat. Let's see. Rats can't eat chocolate. Yeah, unless they are very low cocoa chocolate, which honestly is my favorite chocolate. I really love the cheap sugary chocolate. I lived in Belgium for a few years, and every so often I would go to like one of these chocolate stores, and they sell really, really fancy chocolate, dark chocolate with like fruits and liquors and nuts and things, and they're like these really complex, like elaborate flavors and textures and things. I hate it. I just want the cheap, like sub $1 chocolate bar from a convenience store. Give me that shit. With the least cocoa possible. It's like a 50-year-old woman we're taking selfies. It's literally the only way taking selfies. And I thought it was like extra funny, which is why I kept taking them, and I posted on my socials. Those are the pictures that I took, right? But yeah. So Isa, I had a really good time with Isa. However, the other person I agreed to meet up with was Jolyn. Jolyn is a polar bear. I've known him for more than 10 years, probably. At this point. He's one of the like first 10 furries that I've talked to in the fandom. 10 years ago when I first joined, like officially, right? Like I before I turned 17, I was mostly like a lurker and only like scrolled and watched like furry GIF and smut and stories and stuff. Had an account that said that I was a teen before I was 18 and blah blah blah, and I didn't interact with anyone at all. I didn't message anyone at all. I was very responsible then, and so I was a furry before I actually made a fursona and started drawing and made my Neth Kurat account and everything, right? But when like and then I started interacting with people, and Jolyn was one of the very, very first people that I started chatting with. Like, I started chatting with Jolyn over Skype, right? Like, before Discord was a thing, and before, like, like Twitter and everything. And I haven't talked, and I only chat with them very sparingly, like, once every few years. But, like, we finally met. I found out that he was going to Ibercon. He had like some circumstances that led him to want to go here. He started going to conventions very recently, this year. I believe NFC was his first con, and this was his second con. And one of his closer friends that he hangs out with a lot, Danji, which is a bear, which you can see some pictures of me that I've taken with him. He's a bear. You can he like basically asked Joel. He basically like they made plans to go together. And they roomed together and blah blah blah, and basically like Danji strong-armed. I'm not gonna say strong-armed Jolyn to come here, but basically, and Danji is a Spanish, so he wanted to come to the Spanish convention, right? There used to be a convention before Ibercon, a Spanish convention, which was Furnian, but it collapsed because of drama. And I think Ibercon is its spiritual successor. I don't think it has any of the staff or whatever, but it's like, you know, people that used to go to Fernian are now going to come to Ibercon, right? And it's Ibercon because it's at the center of the Iberian Peninsula. It's in the smack dab of center, which is Madrid, which is halfway between the eastern Spain, and the western side of the peninsula, where is Portugal. You know, Portugal is there. Ruffy is man. I took this spooky picture. I need to send this picture and tag him in it. But yeah, dude, I'll spend some time gushing about these fursuits maybe at the end of this review. Yeah, Jolan. So again, I've known him forever, and we finally met, and he basically, I'm very much a go with the flow kind of person. Right? I don't really make plans. I kind of decide. Oh, here's Danji. His fursuit is so cool. I wonder who his maker is. I wonder if it's him. I wonder if he's an artist. I don't know anything about him. It's really, this is what I want my fursuit kind of to look like, which is like a lot smaller and more compact, like closer to my head with a longer muzzle. This, I wish I could have asked him to like inspect his fursuit head, and I should have. Also, he's really hot, but going to this convention made me gayer. I now, I'll talk about this after stream. This is a convention review, or after the convention review VOD situation. Jolan, on the other hand, isn't a go with the flow type of guy. He's a very much he wants to go up to everyone and start a conversation with them and forcibly make friends with them if they are open to it. Which, I mean, most of the people in this convention are here to do that, are here to talk to new people and make friends and stuff. And so he would like just strike up conversations. And I'm pretty sure he didn't just do that in this convention. He's been doing that for like some time now. And so he knew a lot of people. And so I kind of like stuck to him, and he would like introduce me to all of his friends and stuff. To the point that I met some like fucking incredible people, right? Like Danji and all these other fursuiters and stuff. But like Jules is like a fursuit. He's like a furry fursuit dancer that goes up to that I have known, that I found at your first in the day. I haven't talked to him. I never talked to him before, but he literally like introduced me to him. And we were at a room party at Jules' and Jolan's room, right? Like I had never gone to a room party at a convention, and Jolan invited me to go there, right? And he invited me to his room for a room party, and it was very chill. There was only like 8 people in there, like 7-8 people, maybe 10 at most. And again, the rooms are all the same. There were just a couple beds and a couch and like a table with, and people were like drinking. They had a little karaoke machine. People were like, you know, just watching YouTube videos together, like cuddling. I went in there in suit. I didn't cuddle anyone at this fursuit party, at this room party specifically, and I kind of just fell asleep on the bed. And then apparently the party, like, this was after like one of the raves, or like we left the rave early to go to this room party, or maybe it was after dinner or something. It was really late in the day. It was like past midnight, and I had woken up early, and so I kind of like just fell asleep on the bed at a certain point in my fursuit, and I was like, man, I'm just in this party sleeping. I might as well just go to my room. So I like excused myself and left and went to sleep, which honestly, I don't know if it was a good idea. In retrospect, I probably should have stayed. But there was like an event I wanted to go in the morning, like at 10 in the morning. So I was like, I'm just gonna go and sleep and actually go to this event. In retrospect, it was a mistake because the event wasn't worth it at all. It was like a Portuguese furry meet, like a Portuguese get together. So I was expecting to meet a lot of the people that I knew. And actually, no, I met a lot of I saw a lot of new people. And it wasn't really like a meet and greet kind of situation. They had like a little game show, like a Portuguese trivia, and it was all in Portuguese about like the provinces and the traditional foods and the anthems and the history and the kings and stuff. And I don't know any of this, and my team lost. None of my team knew it either. So it was it was funny. It wasn't worth missing the room party for. So I kind of regret it a little bit. But because Jolyn stayed up so late. Okay, so Jolyn, so I haven't cuddled anybody. I have only cuddled once before with a fuck buddy I met on Grindr, right? Like we get this buddy of mine. We get together every few weeks to months to years, very sparingly, to do things with, and I like making out with him and doing things with him, right? And we've only and I only recently invited him to my house, because my room, my family was out. And we cuddled for like a couple hours, and that was really nice. He kind of like fell asleep in my arms, and we got to cuddle. That was really nice, right? I met this guy like several weeks ago, to months ago. And that was the first time I ever cuddled. And this convention is the second time I cuddled, and I cuddled with Jolyn several times, right? In the dance competition, we were like sitting in chairs, and we were kind of like all over each other a little bit. I invited him into my room because I was just chilling after first shooting for like a long bit, and I was like, oh, I'm just chilling until the next event or whatever. And then I invited him over to my room, and we cuddled there. And then this time, like after the room party the next morning, he was like, I think he went to have breakfast, and he was like really tired, so he just like stayed in his room, and I went over to his room, and we cuddled together and spooned, and he laid on top of me, and I'm really small and light, and he's not that much bigger. He's not super tall, but he's like probably over 6 foot, and I'm like 5'4", 5'5". So he laid on me, and I was pinned under him and stuff. So did you get laid? I did not get laid. But I don't go to these conventions specifically to have sex or whatever. It happens. A lot of people have sex. It is very badly seen. It's viewed pretty poorly for these conventions to be pretty much orgies. Every convention ever, like, is about sex, not just furry conventions specifically. Like, I heard like from third-hand knowledge, basically, from hotel people, that the most degenerate convention people are like accounting conventions, right? Because it's like people just get together and then they destroy the rooms, and they have like a bunch of dirty kinky sex or whatever. And furries are apparently relatively tame and polite and nice to the hotel and everything, because honestly we want to like keep our image, and we're pretty socially awkward, and we don't want to cause trouble and stuff. So like there's very few bad apples and bad eggs in the convention and the fandom to cause these like mishaps, right? But yeah, I hung out with Jolyn. He introduced me to a bunch of people. We went out for food, me and him and a bunch of other people, a few times. Like, I went out, for food. Okay. My number one life hack for going to conventions and actually surviving, okay, is the first thing I do when I go to these conventions is, I go to to a nearby grocery store, and I buy snacks and water and like other supplies, right? I went, and because this is Spain, there is like a chain, supermarket chain that also sells stuff here in Portugal, that I go to all the time here where I live. And so I went there to the same supermarket, and they sell the exact same stuff. So I went there and I got the exact same stuff I buy here in at home when I when I go grocery shopping. I bought myself some sandwiches for meals for the first day that I go there, because I typically go one day before the con and leave one day after the con, because like leaving on the last day of the convention fucking sucks. I did that the first Eurofurence that I went to, and it felt awful. It felt like I was leaving in the middle of the party, right? And in fact, was it this year? It was this year. This past year, what I did when I left, I think my flight was like really early in the morning, the day after the convention, right? And there's like a dead dog party, or there's like a rave that like at the last day of the convention that goes up to really late. So what I did is I loaded up on coffee and stayed up I slept in really late, so that I could stay up all night, go to the rave, go back to my room, shower and pack, and then like get a cab immediately after and go to the airport. And like literally like the last day of the convention finishes with me taking a plane, and that shit hits so hard. Oh my god. Like it being like, okay, the convention is winding down, this is the last party, and not only that, there's no recovery time for you to like go to the hotel and like let things like wind down and settle. Like you're just going home immediately after. So during the party and during the last few hours of the convention, like I'm literally leaving at the end of this. It feels so, oh my god, it was so emotional. Conversely, this year, I got there really early the day before the con, and I left really late the day after the con. So the day that I got there, it was a Wednesday. The con was from Thursday to Sunday. I got there Wednesday morning. I went grocery shopping, and then I chilled in my hotel room for the entire day. I like watched YouTube videos. I sewed I worked on my hands to fix the holes that were in my like tail and fursuit paws and things. I chilled and stuff. The day after, and it was great. I slept a bunch to rest up for the convention. And then the day after the convention, I basically it was yesterday actually. I hung out mostly at the airport, just like waiting for my flight, like writing these notes down, and honestly, like the energy of the con, like there was like a slow ramp up and a slow wind down. It didn't hit as hard. I don't have PCD. And because also, speaking of PCD, post-con depression, there's also con crud, which is, people, small confined space with like hundreds of people to thousands of people. People get sick. Wearing a fursuit means that you have a mask on constantly, so and you're not actually touching people. And if you can see from all these pictures, I'm fully suited. I have literally no skin. Well, I don't have a full suit, but like I don't have any skin showing, right? I actually really like this fit because it's like, my vibe is like a businessman rat, and so I had like a dress shirt and khaki pants and like a kind of like jacket blazer thing. And I had my my badge like tucked onto one of my pockets. I thought I looked really nice. I had another getup which was a more like nerdy getup with like just a hoodie jacket kind of situation going on, which I didn't like as much. So I'm probably for the next con I'm gonna buy like a few. I'm gonna bring more than one shirt and more than one jacket so I can like swap it out. And again, I was completely covered head to toe for several plus hours in like a stuffy, like hot location, right? This is endurance training, right? I want to be able to fursuit for like 8 hours at a time or 6 hours at a time with like an hour break in between. Jolyn and Isa and all the people that I met were like, I don't even know what you look like. You most of the time that you were at this convention, you were fursuiting. I'm like, that is exactly what I want. Exactly what I want. I want people to recognize me as my persona, right? And like it goes both ways. I got a suit so I could be recognized like as my persona, and I want to be able to be a little bit more anonymous if I'm not wearing my suit, right? Ibercon, I'm doing my review. I already talked about my negative points about it, Proto, so you get to hear the good parts, right? Because I'd rather finish on a positive note. Yeah. So yeah, I was doing endurance training. Under my clothes, so I have like, I'm wearing like 6 layers of clothes. So, or 5, right? 6 or 5, 5 or 6. So I'm wearing like an Under Armour shirt, over which I'm wearing my so that's one layer. Over which I'm wearing my cool down vest, which is a vest that has like these cool gel packs. It's not really ice, and they're not really like at negative temperatures. They're like but they stay at like a cool 28 degrees Celsius. Might not sound cold. It actually sounds very hot, but it's like meant to be up against your body, which is, 37 degrees Celsius, 36 degrees Celsius. So it actually lowers your body temperature, and it doesn't like burn, and it's not cold. It just keeps you cool, keeps you at like a cozy a cozy temperature for the entire time, right? And so it doesn't really matter what I have on top of that, so long as I have my vest. To be fair, I was still sweating buckets, which is why you have the Under Armour shirt, to absorb the sweat and to wick it out of your skin so that you can like refrigerate. So I had the Under Armour shirt, I had the cool down vest, then I had a t-shirt on, then my shirt, my dress shirt, this shirt, then the jacket, and then the fursuit. So I had 6 layers of clothes on for multiple hours at a time, the whole time, and I was fine. Why? Because I have my Under Armour shirt, right? And my fursuit isn't very well ventilated, but I installed a fan in it that like circulates the air so that I can breathe, so that my hot breath doesn't stay inside the hollow suit. And it blows it onto my face specifically, so that some of the sweat on my face is wicked off, so that I can actually have a tiny little bit of cooling, right? So because of that, because of these 2 hacks, the 3 hacks actually, the Under Armour, the cool down vest, and the fan, I was actually not dying of heat stroke. There was one time actually that I felt pretty woozy. I felt a little woozy sometimes, but like nothing huge, nothing major. I like, when that happened, I might have taken a break or just pushed through and like done a break later or whatever. There was one time where like I wasn't sweating, like my hands were really dry, and so was my face, and I was like, oh god, this is not a good sign. And so I went to the fursuit lounge, and the fursuit lounge was full. So then I went to my room and like chilled there for a bit, or took my clothes off and then took my suit off and then went back to whatever I was doing. But yeah, and this allowed me to like suit for like very long periods of time. I don't think anyone saw me, like people probably didn't see me very often without my suit on, which is exactly how I want and like it. I want to be recognized in suit. Max Fluffy actually went to this convention. I'm sure that in some of these pictures that I took, he's there. He was the guest of honor, which is amazing. By the way, super smart of the convention to choose him as a guest of honor. He's a content creator. He posted several shorts and videos. I think he's streaming right now. I want to say, is he streaming right now? No, he was streaming a little bit ago, talking about the convention as well, and doing a little stream. He again, it was super smart of the convention to have him as one of the guests of honors, because again, it gives the convention more visibility. They held oh, this is another thing that happened. They held a guest of honor meet and greet, right? They had 3 guests of honor. One international fur, which is Max Fluffy. He's Argentinian and lives in Germany with his boyfriend. So he's technically speaks plenty of Spanish, right? And he would be interested in coming here potentially, right? And he's also from and he is in Europe, so it's easy for him to travel here, presumably. And he said that he had a good time. I went to the other two guests of honor were Haps, who is the artist for Adastra, the visual novel, and oh my god, I don't remember the last guy's name, but so they had like an international guest of honor, a Portuguese guest of honor, which was Haps, and a Spanish guest of honor. Fuck, what was it? Yeah, and I went to the meet and greet, and I didn't know that there was like 3 lines for each of the people. I thought it was just like 1 line. People were lining up to meet Haps and Max, and not the last guy. And I felt so bad. He's like he wrote like a cool famous comic or whatever, and draws a bunch of smut. And he's a big artist. But like nobody cared. I felt so bad. And I wanted to say hi to Max, but I guess I got onto the wrong line, and I went to talk to Haps instead. And but it was fine. It just means that I'll put a pin in that actually. But yeah, Max was at the convention, and there were several times where he was, you know, shooting at the lobby or at this meet and greet, which happened immediately after the opening ceremony, or like dancing at the rave or whatever, where I could have gone up to him and asked him to take a picture. Like at Eurofurence, I've seen him around at Eurofurence as well, and I haven't asked him to take a picture yet, and I wanted to. And it's not just been this past Eurofurence. I think the previous, actually I don't know if like 2 years ago he was at Eurofurence. I know that this year he was there, but I don't know if he was 2 years ago. But like this is the second con that he's there, that I'm there, that I want to have a picture with him, that I don't. One day I'll muster up the courage. I even went to the meet and greet to meet him, but whatever. They sent really sweet messages in the chat. Instead at the meet and greet, I met Haps, who is a Portuguese furry. As I said, we're like very few Portuguese furries. There's like not even 1,000 of us. According to Proto, who knows a lot more people than me and is a lot more into the organization. Proto is one of the staff members, right, who helped organize the event. And I'm sure that he was stressed out of his mind the entire convention and leading up to it. But now it's done, and it was pretty good. It was amazing. So I went to Haps, and the joy I felt really happy when he was like, Neth, oh my god, long time no see. It's so good to see you. How's your convention going? How have you been? How are things? And then he's like talking to his boyfriend. Yeah, this is Neth. He's like a huge tittied rat. And I'm like, guys, I was like, oh my god, man. I felt so good. I was like, he remembers me. I'm not just some random person. Oh my god. It's like, cause like when I talk about Haps, I'm like, oh my god, I know Haps. He's like such a cool big artist. He draws like such good smut, and he's like in all these different like furry projects and stuff. Like he's a big artist, right? Like every time I talk about him, I'm like, I even carpooled with him once to go to like a fur meet here in Portugal when we went to like a paintball like fucking 10 years ago or 8 years ago or whatever, right? And I always talk about him, right? But I have the notion that I'm quite invisible and unimportant, and that he wouldn't know who I was. And I was like, I really had this idea that I was gonna go up to him and be like, yo, I'm Portuguese, what up? Caralho, or whatever, right? But no, he recognized me, and I was like so fucking happy about that. And he introduced me to his boyfriend, which I guess I hadn't talked to before. I know Lucas. They're fucking huge degenerates together, and I fucking love that. Lucas is into orcas, both feral and anthro, and he wants them to do things to him. He very much wants to bottom for these orcas, these huge orcas, and he was carrying around an orca plushie, and I thought that was like That's such a furry thing, to bring a cute innocent plushy orca as a prop for your persona and like vibe. But like, if you know kind of situation. Ugh. You don't recognize some of these suits. Gosh, I didn't see some
I'm
of
sorry,
them.
Neth, how many viewers you have on Fur Affinity again?
Who cares about Fur Affinity? To be fair, I don't post on Fur Affinity as much as I do. If I wanted to grow on Fur Affinity, I would actually try and succeed. Okay, like that's different. That's different. Probably has a hole in the back of the plushie. It was a small plushie. It was like a handheld plushie, and no, it didn't. Yeah, like meeting Haps was really great. It was fun. Okay. So yeah, Jolin basically carried my con. Like it made it. He introduced me to so many people. Oh look. Oh wait, that's Pete. I didn't say hi to Pete. I'm a little sad, right? I also saw Pete there. He's also Portuguese furry. I think he lives in Luxembourg or something. And he goes to like all of the fucking European conventions. He goes to NFC, he goes to Eurofurence, he goes to this one, right? This one is a Portuguese furry convention. He went to Bolfaria, which is like a smaller. It's like a local meet. It's like a big fur meet here in Portugal, organized by the Portuguese staff of this convention, which are its own group called Euforia, which is it's like a pun on euphoria, but it's written with furry, right? Euphoria, but like in Portuguese, right? I like it. I like that pun. Right. The bull, and he was there, and he suited at Bolfaria, and I suited at Bolfaria. I'm sure he saw me. I should have said hi. I wanted to have said a hi. It's not a meet, it's an event. Well, there have been cons smaller than that. True, actually. Euphoria, yeah, but with 2 R's. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, this was an amazing. Yeah, it was amazing. I met so many cool people. Again, Jolin carried the con. Okay, let's see. Let me go back to my notes. I talked about how I suited a lot, right? I talked about how I suited for like extended periods of time. If I actually go back and like count the hours, I only like probably suited for 50% of the time. The other 50%, oh, I didn't talk about the food. The other 50%, I was either out having food or chilling in my room, or or something like that. But I tried to suit like as much as I could. And for food, Jolin like took me out for food with his friends, right? One night we went, so we tried to go. Okay, the con had so many great ideas, right? This con would have I would have rated the staff in the organization so much higher if they didn't have those few blunders. Another great idea that they had, all right? They arranged certain restaurants, local restaurants that are like really close to the hotel, to have like discount deals if you showed your badge to them. That's fucking insane, right? Who would have thought of that? That's amazing, right? Like if I like the Eurofurence doesn't fucking have that. Like it's like fucking you just eat whatever. Like they didn't think of that. But like there was like, so we went to like 2 of these places that they had discount codes for. Still searching the bar for blunders. I'm sure the parade is there. Yeah. Hold on. I'll give you a TLDR. After I talk about this. Which is so yeah. So the first one night I had 2 dinners and 1 lunch with Jolin. The first dinner, me and a group of friends, that lion you see in these pictures, and 2 other people that are not that don't have fursuits, I think, who Mo something. Oh my god, I don't remember these people. I don't remember the names of any of these people. We went to a conveyor belt sushi place, which was amazing. It was like $25. But I left fucking stuffed with food, right? I had so much sushi and like Asian stuff. I had a little bit of kimchi, which was a mistake. Holy fuck, that shit burned so bad. I was not ready. I was literally just eating it raw without any bread or lettuce or other stuff, and I had to like get a little sushi thing to like put it in. It was god awful. I was, but it was great. The food was incredible. I had mochi and a bunch of sushi and sashimi and like some fried gyozas and everything. Oh, it was so good. And it was only $25. Like, and we ate them under the table. We ate so much food. And then the following day, I think we went out for poke at a place near the con that had the discount. And it was the food. The food was pretty good. It was really good. I had never had poke before. I had like a bowl of sushi rice with a bunch of stuff with salmon and stuff. It was really tasty. The plate itself was only $15, and with the discount, it was like 13 something. It was like amazing for the price for the food was incredible. Was awesome, especially with the discount. Oh my god, perfect, right? It was not worth it. I waited 2 hours to eat my food, partially because of my mistake, right? Like when we got there, there was a line, and there was not very many empty tables. So what Jolan, I went out with Jolan and Cam something. Oh my god, he's in one of these pictures. He's a dingo yodi mix, or coyote fox mix. I don't remember. I'm sorry. This guy, fuck, I don't remember his name. I'm searching these pictures. Shoot. Whatever. Here we go. Shampoo, yeah. Right. We went out with Shampoo and Jolan. Jolan sat on a table to, like, basically hold the table for us. While me and Shampoo were in line asking for food. And we should have asked food for Jolan as well. But Jolan had apparently, like, a complicated order where he wanted to, like, custom make his order. And so we didn't ask for his food. And while we were waiting in line to ask for food and then take the line quintupled in size. And so when we got back to the table, Jolan had to wait an additional fucking hour in line to get his food. So we already waited a bunch of time to get our order, and then also we waited for Jolan to take his order as well, right? So we waited fucking 2 hours to get our food, which was a terrible fucking idea. Oh my god. It was dumb the way we did it. They were understaffed. They only had 2 people working there for like the huge line, and they were taking it slowly and easily like Spanish people usually do. Oh my god. It was so frustrating. But whatever, I didn't have any plans. And I basically chatted with Chomfo for the entire time about video games and furry stuff and everything. It was overall relatively pleasant. But again, it was not worth, like, it was good for the price, not good for the amount of time that we waited there. Oh my god. And the last time I went out for food, we went to another one of these restaurants that the that the convention had a deal with. We went to like this a Spanish steak place. And he had like an entrecôte, which is basically like a beef steak, and I had a secretus, which is basically like a really fatty cut of pork. Oh, so juicy. Pork, it's honestly too rich for me. But it's like deliciously juicy and salty and amazing, and had fries. Actually, it's the food, I took a picture of it. I'm pretty sure of that food. I didn't take a picture of the conveyor belt sushi place, which I should have, or the poke bowl before I destroyed it. I only realized I should have taken a picture of it after I mixed it and it looked like ass, right? But I did take a picture of the secret, because I remembered after not having taken pictures of my food before. Here, it was this. Yeah, this. The sauce was like tangy and spice and stuff. It was amazing. This was delicious. I did miss out on actually like a lot of the cool events, actually, which I do kind of regret. Partially, I'll talk about it after I give my TLDR. So Proto. So yeah, so the food situation, amazing. The hotel, oh yeah, the hotel. So I was staying at the hotel. The hotel served breakfast. I'm not really sure what I was expecting when the hotel said that they serve breakfast. I've had hotel breakfast before. It's like a continental breakfast in several other hotels I've had, right? Where you just basically like there's a few trays of food, and you can have some toast and like maybe some fruit or whatever. The breakfast, the hotel breakfast was like off the charts. It was amazing, right? It was like a buffet, and it had several like different tables. It had a bunch of fresh fruits. It had different types of breads. It had pastries and donuts and muffins and like croissants and things. It had like fresh cheeses. It had yogurts. It had nuts. They had a bunch of like dried meats, hamon, and like hams and like cooked sausages and chorizo and scrambled runny eggs and like poached eggs, like fried eggs, but like with the yolks still runny, right? They had like mushrooms and stir-fried rice and like dumplings, and they had a bunch of like vegetables like pickles and pepper, like green and red bell peppers and stuff. And it was a buffet, and it was open from like 8 to 11 p.m. a.m. Sorry. So it was like, if I wanted to, I could literally sit there for like an hour, stuff myself, and not have to eat the entire day, right? So between the snacks that I bought first day when I got there, the $50 worth of snacks that I bought, the hotel breakfast, the free convention like coupon for the catering service, and the discount for the that the convention had for certain hotels, the food situation was like perfect. It was like literally perfect. I was never afraid that I was gonna go hungry. In fact, the last day, Sunday, I had eaten so much the past several days that I literally like had no meals. I just like ate a bunch of snacks, a bunch of the snacks I bought. I had like a big breakfast, and then I didn't eat anything like substantial. I didn't have like and then I went to bed early, so I didn't really need to have food. Chorizo, chorizo. In Portuguese, it's chorizo. Chorizo. I don't know how to say it in Spanish, actually. Okay. But yeah, the food situation was like immaculate. It was like, there's the 6-2-1 rule for conventions, which is you have to have at least, to be able to function and to enjoy the convention as well as possible, and to not get concrete and to not fucking die, and for you to be able to be healthy, you have to have 6 hours of sleep, 2 warm meals a day, and 1 shower. So that honestly, so that's another thing. The shower thing, nobody was sweaty. There was no BO, right? In fact, the opposite was the case. I think the convention smelled very pleasant. Anytime I got a whiff of something, it was of like somebody who was perfumed and showered and had deodorant, right? Which was really nice. And people told that about me as well. So again, extra nice. In fact, that one time I went to cuddle with Jolin in his room after he woke up, and he hadn't showered. He was like, "Oh my god, I spent yesterday walking and partying. I'm probably so sweaty and so smelly. Come here, come sniff me." I was like, "I'm not gonna fucking smell your armpit. That's weird." Okay, fine, let me do it. I said it after like a few minutes. And he didn't smell bad at all. He literally smelled like deodorant and showered and stuff. So it's like, man, okay. You'll never smell that at an American con. I don't know. Yeah, so... And again, I made it a point, because again, it's 6-2-1 rule. I made it a point every day, first thing in the morning, to go grab breakfast. And after breakfast, my routine was like, I would wake up. Depending on if I woke up late, I would like rush through things. If I woke up early, I would have extra time to fit in like some chilling and and sewing and watching YouTube videos and shorts and blah blah blah, scrolling through my phone and sending messages. But I would always like wake up, get dressed, put on my badge and get my wallet and stuff, go eat first thing, then come back to my room, undress, shower, brush my teeth after I've had breakfast, and then like put on my suit and go downstairs, right? I really enjoyed hanging around you too. I really enjoyed hanging out around you too, Isa. You were a really big part of why this convention was like so good. Okay, so 6 hours of sleep, yeah. So that's why it was 20 euros per breakfast. Oh my god. Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, yeah, 6-to-1 rule if you want to like have, you know, be a person at a convention. Although you were staff, so like the thing is like the staff had to close, and they closed like late, like 3 or 4 a.m. and then they open at 10. The convention space was at 10 a.m. so they probably had to be there like at 9 or before even. So like if you're going to bed at 4 and then waking up at 9 or earlier, you're getting 4 to 5 hours of sleep. So I do not envy the staff at all. Maybe one day I'll be a helper maybe, but from what I know, it's not really pleasant. You're not really enjoying the con if you're like on staff. So that's how I see it. Both at Ibercon here, as I saw it from like my friends that my Portuguese friends that did it, and also your friends from the people that I know that staffed and from what staff say. Okay, but Proto 2 and let me maybe wrap this up a little bit actually. I could go on. And I actually will go on. I will go on. So I'm gonna give like a conclusion and a little wrap up. Give the few little points. Like do a top to bottom thing. And then I'll comment on these on the pictures that I took a little bit. I'll do like a post review thing. Okay. So the convention overall, I rate it an 8.5 out of 10. Right, which is insane for a second year convention. There were some bad parts and some good parts. The bad parts were mostly on the organization, right, of the convention. There were like primarily 3 things that went bad, which I will name shortly. But the con itself and the staff performance, I will rate a 5 out of 5. Or a 5.5 out of 10. Sorry, not 5 out of 5. A 5.5 out of 10. Which the rating would have been improved to a 7 out of 10 if one of the things didn't happen. I'll actually say the bad things first. For a second year con, this actually a 8 out of 10. But if I'm like judging it like based off of like my experience overall and like comparing it to your friends, it was a 5.5 out of 10, right? The 3 things that I thought were mistakes with the convention were number 1 and the easiest to solve, and I don't know how, like I should have probably gone to ConOps to ask them to help with this, is the main lobby of the convention center didn't have any seating. And so if I wanted to go to the convention and hang out at the convention center and hang out with people there, I could only like walk back and forth like 60 meters, 100 meters, or like just stand in place. And as a fursuiter who wants to be hanging out like for 6 to 8 hours in fursuit, that is not very comfortable, right? I want to be sitting in a couch. Like it gives me such envy because the main hotel lobby was like so comfy. It had so many couches, so many nooks, like a lot of carpets. During the last day of the convention, late at night, I hung out there in fursuit with a bunch of other people who were not in fursuit, and I literally just sat on one of the carpets while people were like hanging out around, sitting around like a low table around couches, and that was really nice. And if we could have done that at the main convention lobby, that would have been incredible. And the fix would have been really easy. We had so many fucking chairs that were not being used in a lot of the panel rooms. We could have literally had like 20 chairs or 30 or 40 chairs. It wouldn't have been enough to fit everyone, but you know, you could have like had a bunch of seating. And like there were some chairs next to the dealer's den, and when I hung out there, when I sat on those chairs, it was really nice. So it would have been a really easy fix. And like Eurofurence, the other convention, has like this huge lobby, right? It has it's like a several tiered lobby where you have to have your badge to be at. But like, and they have like lots of tables with chairs. They have several like areas with couches and stuff. And again, just a few chairs would have gone a long way. So that was number one. Number two, and the most egregious thing, I can't believe how this happened, right? And I understand that the hotel fucked the convention staff over with this, but it just seems to me like it was a miscommunication between the con staff and the hotel staff. And I know that the staff, the con staff, got raked over the coals for this already. But I still have to say it, right? Because it was still a big point against them. And I also suffered from it, right? Which was the hotel staff not allowing people to have their heads on in the lobby, in the main hotel lobby during the first day. Like at all, right? So I know that the hotel, that is like a monumental fucking blunder. I'll temper my take a little bit soon, but like a hotel convention, a furry hotel convention, not being able to have fursuits on is insane. Like, come on, man, that shit's like basic 101. Okay, right? I understand that the hotel probably didn't know what furries were, and one day before the convention, like probably literally Wednesday, informed the con staff that this was a thing. And then they had some discussions with the con staff, and the con staff was like, all right, we'll just say no, come on guys. Like the con staff probably like tried to get it so that the hotel would understand what the fuck like furries are and fursuiting is. And so they came to an agreement that if you're like going through the lobby, like down from the elevators or the stairs to the convention center, you could have your head on for like a few seconds in the place. But even that was not allowed, because I put on like day one, first thing that happened after I read these comments in the Telegram chat, walked out of my room, down the stairs. Soon as I got into the lobby, one of the security guards was like, nah. He came up to me, like shook his finger at me, wagged his finger at me, and was like, you gotta take your head off. And I went up to talk to him, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry, like I was just gonna go to the convention. And he was like, no hablo inglés. And I was like, and then I tried talking to him in Spanish. He was super dismissive. And I took my head off, and I went back, and I went to the convention center, and I put my head back on. But like, come on. And I was like, I was fucking livid. I was like, after reading the flame that like was going on in the announcements and under this announcement post, I was pretty fired up about that, and I was like, this is like terrible. The following day, it was resolved, presumably because the staff talked to them more, maybe because the catering service like saw what the furries were about and how we were cute and not degenerate, and this was pretty safe, right? And they relented. Essentially, the hotel staff relented, and so you could now actually do what they agreed upon. Maybe there was some miscommunication between the people of the hotel that the con talked to and the security guards. I really wanted to write a negative review for the hotel. I don't think this was partially the con staff's fault for miscommunicating with the hotel staff, but it was mostly on the hotel staff. But it was still like, this is a gigantic blunder, right? Right. It was still a gigantic blunder. And the last issue was the fursuit parade. I mean, I don't need to. I don't need to tell you, Proto, what went wrong with the fursuit parade, right? You scheduled the con at a certain date. You didn't know that there was going to be a bunch of other events in the city that were going to be competing with the furry convention, right? There was a huge football game, apparently. There was some other like events going on. Like it was a long weekend and people were taking a bunch of vacation, and so you couldn't you couldn't come to an agreement with the city to have the fursuit parade outside, which it means it's going to be inside the and obviously you had to cobble together. You had to do a plan B. You didn't have a plan B, and you had to do a fursuit parade inside the convention center, which was already immediately going to be like a disaster because, again, this is a small space. I think you did the best that you could with what you had, sort of, not really, but it was, you know, like it's a small space. It's not ventilated. There's going to be a bunch of fursuits that are going to be doing physical labor, so it's already going to be trying. And then, right, the plan B was actually kind of fine, which was, okay, you're going to be in a room. It's going to be with a bunch of fans. You're going to stay there, and we're going to have like 100 fursuiters come out at a time to walk the lobby, take a picture, and come back, and then you can desuit, right? That's, on paper, a good idea, but the execution was completely bad because people stayed inside the room for way too long, apparently. There was music, and so people were like really moving and making the room a lot hotter. And then you didn't count the people that were leaving the room for the 100 people to go outside, so that like everybody just kind of like kept coming out, and so there was like a huge traffic jam essentially, and people couldn't take their pictures, and then coming back, you know, people still like had to stay in the room or whatever. And then you canceled the second half of the thing, so people couldn't even do the fursuit parade or the pictures. That was pretty egregious. I personally think that after the city council canceled, you know, didn't allow you should have, like, again, in retrospect, it's easy to say that you should have just cut your losses short, and instead of doing a fursuit parade, you should have done like a group picture thing. Like you should have decided like have a bunch of like do like a group picture thing and maybe something like that. I don't know. But I rated my con experience an 8.5. I rated the staff performance like an 8.5 out of 10. I rated the con staff performance and the con itself, like the organization and everything, a 5.5 out of 10, like objectively. If I take into account that it's a second year con, it's actually an 8 out of 10, because for second year con, it was actually incredible. Especially because you have a bunch of like innovations and stuff, but like obviously like it's very fucking inexcusable that you can't fursuit at the hotel when there's a con at the hotel. Like, come on, okay. And the fursuit parade, whatever. And I think the sitting arrangement is something really easy to fix. Okay, so right, let me read what Pro has been saying, obviously, because I've just been fucking slandering him. I've just been slandering him this entire time and will not let him. Also, thank you so much, Pro, for being part of such an amazing staff. For real. I couldn't sleep more than 4 or 5 hours. Yeah, I figured. Thanks so much for your kind words. 5.5 for the staff. Space was tight, though. We were forced to pick small tables for food or chairs. But noted. No, that was not a miscommunication. We told them, we showed them videos, we had people recording videos there, and they informed us 2 days prior to the con of that restriction. Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, again, it really felt like the again, reading the comments and seeing what you guys did, what I felt happened was that the staff fucked the con over because they didn't know what furries were, right? and the con was trying their hardest to get them to like understand. But like, again, it's a convention at a hotel. If that doesn't go through, if you can't get the hotel to allow furries to be furries, then you don't pick that hotel, right? It's just that if they did it 2 days before the event is happening, there's nothing much that you could have done. You did the best that you could, right? And then it really felt like the hotel, like, after seeing what furries were about, was like, oh, okay, this is fine. Yeah, people can have masks here. It's not that big of a deal. And it's like in the roasting in the Telegram chat, people said like, the hotel should understand that like people are identifiable. That's why you have a con badge, right? In any other convention, that happens at a hotel, you cannot wear a fursuit or be at any hotel locations or con locations without a badge, right? Because you need to have a badge to be able to be identifiable because you're having a mask, or because you have a mask on, right? And and on top of that, if you have a fursuit on, you're more identifiable than if you don't. So they just fucking didn't get it. The hotel didn't get it. But afterwards, again, I felt like the catering service and the people that were like walking there like understood that we weren't a bunch of degenerates, and it was actually we were really chill. And then they allowed people to be in the lobby in fursuit, and it was fixed. But again, it's a very big blunder. Like, if that blunder didn't happen, I would literally rate the con itself and the performance of the staff like a 7.5 out of 10, like a 7 or 7.5 out of 10, like for real. We argue with them during those 2 days because they didn't want to even let them do so. Yeah. It really felt like the hotel. Like, those are the vibes I got. Don't flame the staff, burn them, carbonize them. Oh, you mean the hotel staff? Yes. Look, they even then told us, fine, just do it quickly. And no, security was still following the guidelines of no masks in the lobby. But I feel like the complaints and displeasure from people made them change their mind. It was not us, con staff. It was a hotel seeing it was harmless and seeing how much they were getting negative feedback. I would have asked for the complaint book, like legit, I would have, and I still might leave a negative review. Like, I did not enjoy that at like one bit. But again, a huge blunder. It was fixed later. I still was able to be at the lobby, and I still had a good time. Things mellowed out. So, not a huge. I think it's, again, objectively, it's inexcusable. I didn't have a huge problem with that, right? Objectively, if the hotel doesn't allow fursuiters at a furry convention, that's a big problem. That was plan B. The disaster case was bad weather. And no, that was not the best we could do. I was fuming because people changed my guidelines and messed over the pictures exactly. Yeah, turn it into a photo shoot exactly. We tried making a parade to make it better than nothing, but it made it a terrible experience. I honestly think that the worst part of the parade was that you canceled the second half of the people, right? I know that like you saw that the first half of the people, like, it didn't go very well, but I feel like the other half should have like gone because okay. Let me continue reading. I'll actually, but yeah. Look at it this way. You get the hotel to make a mask dinner. You know, something thematic, the hotel agrees. And then the day they say, no, the mask until you get down there. Like, what the fuck? You ruined the magic. Yeah. Do it on Google. I saw Spanish law. They can counter-argue the complaint book. It's not like Portugal. Oh, really? We'd have to go to the Madrid Council, but negative review on Google. Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know how it works in Spain. I didn't like. Okay, so oh, what was this? Booking.com. Oh, on Booking.com. Yeah. That's where I booked my. No, actually, I didn't book it on Booking.com because they didn't have any rooms available. I used the other side because I couldn't put my discount code on Booking.com. I had to be this other website, right? So. That sent as a link. I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Right. So about my personal experience about these negative things. I think honestly, the biggest impacting out of these 3 negative things was the fact that there was no seating. I wanted to be at the main con lobby and be able to chill, but I couldn't because there was no seating, right? I just had to like walk around or stand and blah blah blah, or sit on the floor, which I did a few times. So it's like I did the best with what I could. That's the biggest impact thing and the most easily fixed thing. Again, if you put 20 chairs, they would immediately be taken up. They might be dragged around and taken to other places, but you know, at least a little bit more of an attempt. The hotel not allowing fursuits, again, is an objective, humongous blunder. But I personally didn't, and I was told off by security, and I really hated it. But it was like only one interaction during the day, and I didn't have, you know, and then I was able to hang out and stuff, and they mellowed out. So again, objectively it's terrible, but like it wasn't that impactful, you know. Right. And the parade was like objectively like just a mess. It was just like an organizational mess. But yeah. Those are the negatives about the con staff organization. But unironically, maybe I'll actually say 6 out of 10 and not 5.5. Because I'm now remembering that, like, again, the coupon tickets for the catering service was a genius move. The discount codes by showing your badge at these restaurant places, genius fucking move, right? Those 2 things actually, like, I'm gonna give it like I'm gonna give the rating another half point because of that. Like, unironically, I never thought of that. That's like fucking like 5 head, okay? The events itself were bangers, right? Like, were bangers. The panels were they were fine, right? Like, you can't really control how well panels go. They were pretty mid, I would say. The main stage events were amazing, right? Dealers Den, really good, right? It was small, but serviceable and good. The Fursuit Lounge, as good as it could get for like as small as a space that there was. I think one of the biggest complaints that I have about the space is that it's not refrigerated, right? You're gonna have like hundreds of people there. Like, you have to have aircon on, right? At Eurofurence, the space is like ginormous, so there's a lot more ventilation. And even then, like in some of the bigger rooms, and like when there's a party, like it gets pretty stuffy. But like, again, I'm comparing Ibercon to Eurofurence. Ibercon's Fursuit Lounge was pretty good to service. It was pretty serviceable. It was pretty good, right? And Eurofurенce's one is apparently literally the best in the world by like a huge margin. So it's not really a fair comparison. But yeah, actually 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 is probably a little bit more reasonable. Again, the blunder with the hotel is, dude, I don't even want to call it a blunder. It's just a hotel like fucking over the staff. But I was still like, I don't know. But yeah, and then the organization of the thing. But again, only those 3 things to make it like a quote unquote bad time. And, you know, that's pretty good. That's very good. Now is the question. Do you do the convention at the same hotel next year? Because it's like, if you pick the same hotel, they already know us, right? So it's easier to have a conversation. And the space was pretty good, I would say, except for the ventilation part. And maybe they'll be a little bit more permissive. But maybe there's better hotels. I don't know. Okay, can I tell you one? I want to say two things here. Sure. One more complaint about the hotel, but then a positive on it. Okay, go ahead. But yeah, the negatives. Oh my god, I'm really bad at summarizing. We from events organized schemes, drawings, and maps for the event distribution. Schemes as in schemage as in graphs, sure. Graphs and yeah. They had a ton of material to know what they had to do and when. Oh, okay, well. I mean, the thing is, like, whose fault? Like, who are you gonna blame? They lost him and didn't understand, or didn't understand him. Okay, well. Who are you gonna blame in that circumstance? Better than I thought. Ibercon last. The first Ibercon was held in the same hotel. Wait, it was held in the same hotel? Wait, was it? No, it was held in a different hotel, I think. Okay, well, if it's the staff... Okay, if the staff had, like, very well-planned plans, but didn't execute them well, it's still the staff's fault, right? Like, in that case, like, you have meetings and you kind of try to train people and stuff. I don't know. Me and the other two event coordinators had to go around all the time talking to the hotel staff for when to put tables then and there. I actually noticed that. Again, I noticed the work that went into this. Again, you had like 75 staff members for the 100, or no, you had 150 staff members for the 800 attendees or 700 attendees. That ratio is amazing. I did not feel like the staff was overworked and events were running smoothly. They weren't really delayed. I mean, some events were delayed, but like those are understandable delays. Like delays of 15 to 30 minutes is fine. Like an hour is a little bit more egregious. More than that, and I think it's like, oh my god. But you didn't have any of those. Like, you delayed things by like an hour or 30 minutes or whatever. So honestly, the event organization was like amazing and really good. Everything was on time and the chairs were, like, everything was set up. I thought it was really good. I thought it was good. Me and two other events, yeah. There were Excel sheets and image masters. My gosh. Yeah, so, okay. Trying to summarize the negatives, and not, like, go into them, because I basically, like, repeated. The negatives were, so, in conclusion, about the staff, I'm gonna rate them a 6 out of 10. For a second year con, I'm actually gonna rate them like maybe like an 8.5 or 9 out of 10. If I take into the consideration that it's their second year con, and obviously next year it's gonna be even better because they're gonna be prepared because they're gonna put fucking chairs in the main lobby, so people can sit and hang out, because sitting and hanging out is the most important part of a convention. But the negatives were that there weren't any seating or enough seating in the main lobby, in the main hotel lobby. The most egregious thing was like their disagreements with the hotel about not letting people have fursuit heads on in the hotel lobby, like no matter what. I understand that it wasn't the convention staff's fault, and that they fought tooth and nail for them to be able to, and there was like delays in communication within the hotel staff that had it so that security was stopping people from having masks on in the hotel lobby at all, at all. But it's still a really egregious thing, right? Like that, like you have to make sure, like that's like a main selling point for the con. Like I imagine that like you have to go to a con and be like, we wear fursuits, we wear costumes. If we are not allowed to have costumes on, like in the hotel, not just in the thing, in the hotel, right? That is a deal breaker, right? That we will not have like our hundreds of people pay their stay to go to your hotel, right? That has to be like a selling point. And it wasn't. And the hotel, maybe the hotel agreed first and like then pulled the rug under them. But again, a huge mistake. And then the organization of the fursuit parade, which then turned into a photo shoot, which was poorly organized. I understand that the event coordinators probably had everything really well set up, and that the staff itself didn't manage to execute. But I mean, the staff is considered like a whole, right? So so those were the 3 mistakes. I'm not even gonna consider like delays and blah blah blah. Those are whatever. Those are like par for the course. However, bringing up the score, right? The convention was an actual convention. It actually felt like a convention. There was events. There was the dealer's den. There was the fursuit lounge. They had a main lobby. They had panel rooms and a bunch of panels. They had a main stage, which was great, and like there was raves and concerts and everything, and they had like some guests of honor, right? It all felt like an actual convention. And on top of that, to make up a little bit for the score being brought down by the mistakes, they had the incredible innovation of like their catering having like coupon tickets for the catering staff, for them to give them food, for them to give us food for free, which and discounts on several nearby restaurants, which is incredible. It's fucking groundbreaking. I love that. That was amazing. That was like, I didn't think that was possible, and it brings up the score. But again, I'm not rating the convention a 6 out of 10. Maybe I'm rating like the convention space and the organization and the event itself a 6 out of 10, maybe 6 out of 10. But I am rating my time there maybe an 8.5, maybe 9 out of 10 even, maybe 9 out of 10. Maybe a 9 out of 10 is a little bit more realistic because I managed to do the main thing that you want to be doing at conventions, which is hanging out with people and talking to people, right? It's a convention is meant to be a 4-day party where you're constantly hanging out, you're being a silly little animal and hugging people and cuddling people and talking about random things and learning about new people and meeting new people. And I did all of that in spades, which is perfect, right? That's like the recipe for a perfect convention, right? I had 3 main types of groups of people that I hung out with, which were 1, the Portuguese furries from Euforia, which is the Portuguese organization group, that I knew a lot of them. Proto is included in them, right? A lot of them were staff, but even if they're staff, like just like walking down the hallway and seeing one of the staff members and saying hi and giving a hug and asking how their staffing experience is going and them wanting to pull out hairs, that like, just being able to talk to people in that capacity is incredible already. Number 2, like just meeting random people that I don't know, like going up to them in suit, hugging them, asking for a picture, and then like striking up a conversation, asking how the con is, where they're from, how things are like, what they're thinking about, and making these new connections. I did that also in spades. I did that like, I don't know, like more than a handful of times, right? I met new people and I traded telegrams and I have a bunch of new contacts, right? And if I ever go to another convention, I'll be meeting these people again, which is what furry is all about, which is what furry conventions are all about. That is incredible. And most important of all, the third type of group of people, like making plans with people prior to the con and then going to meet them, like arrangements to meet, right? I did that this convention. I planned to meet Isa and Jolin, and both of them made my convention like stellar, right? Like meeting Isa, he's my viewer, my longtime viewer. Putting a face to the name, and like hanging out with them, and him being able to take pictures with me, like hugging him. I really hope he had a really good convention, because I didn't hang out with him as much as I had originally wanted to, partially because Jolin was like kind of like a whirlwind, and I was like kind of glued to him. Jolin, being the other person that I hang out with and made plans to meet, a furry that I've met more than 10 years ago, or about 10 years ago, and that I've been talking to since. I hung out to him like glue, because for conventions, I mostly go with the flow, and he was the flow, you know? He makes a point of actually wanting to go to talk to people and meet people, and he's done that for like a long time. So he knew a bunch of friends, he knew a bunch of people, had a bunch of friends, and not only did I hang out with him in particular, which I'll asterisk in a second, I also got to hang out with all of his friends, who were incredible, and I made friends with them, and stuff. And so I got to hang out with like a large group of people, which is even better. And I was constantly talking with people and stuff. And to unpin my asterisk, specifically hanging out with Jolin was amazing. I really, really enjoyed my time. We went out for food several times at several restaurants that were like delicious. We like hung out one-on-one several times and cuddled, both at the dance competition in my room and in his room one morning. Right. And it was just amazing. It was just, again, it was a 9 out of 10 convention. I think that if I'm being honest, I mean, I know that I rate this Ibercon, my time at Ibercon, really high up there. It was better than the first time I went to a furry convention, and for sure better than the second time I went to a furry convention. It was maybe even better than Eurofurence last year, which was my best Eurofurence so far. Because I got to like hang out with Joel and cuddle, which I hadn't been able to do ever before in any meaningful capacity, right? It was a really, really good time. It was a really good time. I had a blast. I don't know if I'll be going next year. The hotel was it gouged, like I had to like sell a liver. I paid like $1,500. And I mostly wanted to go this year because I wanted to see how it was. And now that I know how it was, I have to choose between going to this one and Eurofurence, because I don't necessarily want to go to more than one furry convention a year, right? But yeah, that was my Ibercon 2026. It was a blast. I really had, like, I danced my ass off. I drank. I went to a room party. I cuddled. You know, I fursuited a bunch of times. I went to some cool panels, right? Like, I don't think you can ask more from a furry convention. And I had a blast. So yeah, I had a really, really good time, despite the flaws with the convention, right? Yeah. Okay. So that was it. That was the summary. Now moving on to the post review section. I'm gonna talk with my chat here. Let's see. Let's see. Or you might know better than me. Yeah, blah blah blah. It was Rafael Hotels the last year, yeah. But despite those problems, see the hotel and staff, they messed it up, but they did the best they could have done from there on out. The hotel staff is getting a 6 out of 10 is still way too generous. I'm not giving the hotel staff the hotel staff gets like a 1 out of 10. Holy fuck. I'm talking about the con staff. The convention as an event gets like a 6 out of 10. Compared to like Eurofurence, basically, right? Which is not a fair comparison because this is a way smaller convention, right? With a smaller number of volunteers, smaller number of people at a smaller venue, at a venue that is not as hosting to furries, right? It's not a fair comparison. If I equal the playing field and take those things into consideration, it was like like an 8.5 out of 10, maybe 9 out of 10, right? Like the event and the staff, right, is what I'm rating it. If I take those into consideration. If I do it objectively, the event wasn't as good, right? The event itself wasn't as good as Eurofurence, right? It had some innovations on it, and it's why I'm giving it a 6 out of 5, but yeah. Did the best it could have done from then on out. Did not point the finger on us for who had the schemes or not. They just listened to us and got what we needed as fast as they could. Man, dude, even without the manager being there, the workers there were just listening to me and Luis when we needed something quickly, despite not how keenly organized their inventory was. You help Tell apologized for imposing the restriction and removed it day 2 onward. Yes, I'm aware. I'm aware that they rectified their mistake. I still think the mistake shouldn't have been done. I think the mistake shouldn't have been done. It could have been a lot worse. Oh my god. But yeah, thankfully it was. Again, objectively. So there's 2 parts to being objective about this, right? Objectively, this should have never happened. It should have never happened in the first place. But also, it wasn't that big of a deal, you know? Like, it is very egregious, but also, like, not a huge deal at all, simultaneously. Hotel staff being unkind to con staff is reminding me of another fiasco that happened at con for a couple years ago or so. Okay, Peter says the hotel staff tried to always be nice, helpful, and thoughtful. They brought us con staff food and water without us asking for it because they saw how much we worked and how tired we were. I'll be honest, what hurt me the most was to hear the event panel were kind of... Okay, hold on. Yeah, I haven't talked about that, to be fair, because I know how much work, love, and effort they took. So yeah, Ibercon 25, Rafael Hotel. Ibercon 26, near Retiro. 27, we don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do. Okay, let me read the rest of the no, I'll answer this. I don't know if you're gonna do this hotel again. Using the same hotel has the benefit of, like, they already know, right? Like, so if you do the same thing next year, you won't have the same mistakes. You can already come prepared with having, like, bean bags or something, right? And, like, then the inevitable, like, vacuum cleaner to clean the beanbags that get destroyed, you know, inevitably. Isa says, I love the panels. They were so much fun. Even the silly ones. 2025 will depend a lot on feedback. Right. The hotel started off wrong, but they did the best they could after messing up. Yeah, I felt that. I felt that. Again, my opinion is that it was a little bit of a nothing burger. I was really upset when the security guard told me to do that. I was really upset, but, like... And honestly, that's probably why I'm, like, holding on so much to it, is because I was personally wronged by it, and I heard that other people were also wronged by it, and also I was riled up by the comments in the Telegram chat. It wasn't that big of a deal, and the hotel actually was pretty... They were pretty good hosts after that, right? After they made the big mistake. That makes me hella happy. Okay, let me talk about the events. I know that you're the event organizer, so this is a little bit of sucking up to you a little bit, okay? Gosh, I know how I tried to run some fursuit games alone, and that things were going wrong. Then that my roommate and even photographer or participants lent a hand to make it fun. Okay, so, I didn't go to very many events, and the events that I went to, I thought were very mid. I guess is where I should specify. Okay, that's the security guard. The guard was at the stake, and ironically, they were apparently operating with, like, old information that the hotel as a whole had already, like, rectified, but whatever. Okay, what events did I go to? I went to Fursuiting 101. No, okay, so actually let me open up my con book. Oh, right, the con book. Oh my god, the con book, amazing. Holy shit, it looks so good. It's really good. The con book, 10 out of 10. Con book is perfect. No notes. No notes, for real. Absolutely great. Perfect. It's so good quality too, by the way. Oh my god. Such good art, everything. Amazing. Okay. So what did I do first when I got there? First I went to the science panel, which was, I think one of the staff members was hosting it. I just felt bad. I felt bad for the guy. Like there was like 7 people in the audience in this huge stage, and he was talking about like hard drives, and I wanted to ask a question, and you could tell that he was really nervous, and I just felt bad for him. So it wasn't really interesting for me. It wasn't that interesting. Afterwards, I think I only went to the opening ceremony. Perfect, amazing, great, incredible. Opening ceremony was amazing. Then I went to the guest of honors meet and greet, which, as I said, it was my bad that I didn't get to talk to Max, and also or Yobi, which looking at the con book, I can see that the other guest of honor was Yobi, an amazing artist. He draws incredible smut. And has like a safe for comic, which is why I was invited, right? Haps also draws like incredible smut. And I only went to chat to Haps. And Haps literally made my day. But also I didn't get to talk to Max because the lines were a little confusing. The con book had a misprint. My Fursuit Grand Prix had a wrong description from the Yu-Gi-Oh games. So yeah, the science panel was... It was a great opening ceremony, amazing. It was incredible. Then I went to the guest of honor meet and greet. And then I wanted to go to the concert. Oh, right, after the guest of honor meet and greet, I just went to my room and fell asleep. I wanted to have gone to the concert and the Animal Jam and the party afterwards, and I really fucking regret not going. I was like, oh, Max fucking sung on stage, and this is like the second con or third con that Fonz and Friends goes to that I missed their concert, and I'm like really legitimately fucking upset. I was like, god fucking damn it, I missed it again. I fell asleep, but whatever. He must have been stressed for the opening. Yeah. Okay, then the next day I went to Fursuiting 101. And I'm probably like just spoiled. Oh no, I know one of the complaints I have. Okay, I'm gonna make a complaint. So, firstly, I didn't thought it was really fun. Because I've been to several Fursuiting 101s already, and those were just better, right? They were sillier and goofier, and they were more to the point in a lot of regards, and it felt like the people that were doing it, because again, I'm pretty sure that the events the panels and stuff are like obviously partially run by the staff, but also partially run by the people that decide to run them, right? And the Fursuit 101, the people there were like, they were not very enthusiastic. They were really not into it that much. And then they started doing games and stuff, and I left before then because I was like, ugh, I don't know. It just took a while to get going, and probably because again I've already been to ones that are like slightly better, and I've seen videos of ones that are slightly better, right? Like they basically talked about like how you have to be careful about fursuit. They didn't talk about a lot of the stuff that I was expecting them to explain how like fursuits have very little visibility, how they're really warm, how to help fursuiters who are like having a hard time, and on top they didn't cover a lot of the topics that I thought they were gonna, which I feel are more important than what they said, than what they were talking about, but also and this is a problem with a lot of the events that I went to, which is why I kind of like wasn't really excited to go to a lot of them. People don't know how to speak English. So even the closing ceremony and the opening ceremony had a little bit of this issue, which was, I mean, this is an Iberian con, right? It's in Spain, and it's in Spanish and in English. I don't speak Spanish very well, so I only get 50% of whatever anyone says in Spanish. So whenever someone says in Spanish, I kind of like disassociate a little bit. And a lot of times in these panels, people say a lot of, like, people spend like 5 to 6 minutes talking straight in Spanish, and I'm like, I don't even know what they're talking about anymore. And then when they swap to English, they're to the point and they speak in like 2 minutes, and I was like, okay, that's what they said basically. Or maybe, but the thing is, like, because I understand Spanish, I understand that a lot of times people will just say a bunch of shit in Spanish and then another bunch of shit in English, not as a translation. They would just like continue the conversation as if you were bilingual, which for people who are bilingual, great. I don't speak Spanish, so I was like, man, I don't know what I was hoping that the English person would translate, but whatever. Like, so it's like, that's just a me thing, I think, and it's why I couldn't enjoy a lot of the stuff that I went to. Me six snaps to Neth. Me snaps photos. Me has to leave 101 quickly to return to work and make sure events line up correctly. I left during the event, during halfway to the first shoot 101 thing. And I wanted to go to the, okay, so I wanted to go to the Vormeet and the Triple Paws band debut. I really wanted to go there because they're apparently a Portuguese band. I was gonna expect them to be ass, but like walking down the lobby, I actually heard the music coming from the main stage, and I was like, oh my god, that's actually not bad. I actually regret not going, because in the meantime, on Friday, because Thursday, I was going alone. I was flying solo. Friday, I finally met Isa and Jolene, right? And I actually met them at the same time, which was a little unfortunate because I had to cut my meeting with Isa short, sort of. I felt like I met Isa, and I couldn't properly hang out with them because I was waiting for Jolene, and I was a little like, fuck, I was torn, and I felt really bad. But then, so because I met Jolene, he wanted to go to the furry VN panel. And I haven't really read any VNs. I don't really feel very strongly about them. So I went to a panel that I didn't really enjoy, and they were also talking in Spanish and in English, so I kind of didn't really understand a lot of what they were saying, right? So there's that. I wanted to have gone to the I went to the karaoke, but okay, that's Enzo. Enzo, yeah, I love Enzo. He's really fucking cuddly. Hold on, let me read. Time for a Spanish teacher, got it. Dynamic translation. I understand Spanish well enough. Not repeat the same thing, but do a chat so people get the idea if they understand one. Yeah, that is something I feared. Bilingual panels can be a hit or miss. That's a nice line. Yeah. There were several lions. I didn't take. There was like so many. I didn't take pictures of a lot of fursuits. Like you see the number of pictures I took. These are not a lot. These are like a tenth. Basically, maybe an eighth, if I'm being generous, right? Okay, I went to the, okay, Proto, listen, hear me out, okay? Listen closely. This is mostly for the audiovisual team, the AV team, but karaoke is a big thing. At Eurofurence, they have karaoke from like 10 p.m. to 2 or 3 a.m. And if you don't get in the queue in the first like 20 to 30 minutes, you will miss it, because the queue fills instantly because everybody wants to karaoke. In the schedule, you had like an hour and a half of karaoke, and they had to cut it short, and I couldn't sing, right? So what I'm saying, and they hold it for 2 nights. And people can obviously go there again or whatever. But like my point is, karaoke is a big thing, and you only have an hour and a half here. And in Eurofurence, they do it for 10 hours, and people still, the queue still fills instantly and goes for the whole night, right? So it's a really big event, and I missed it, and I couldn't sing, and I was sad, right? I waited for the whole time, and I didn't get to sing, so I was like sad, but whatever, right? And that also means I missed the art jam in English, which I would have wanted to go to. However, we had the barking voice contest as well. Was it that day on Friday? Was it on Friday? It wasn't on Friday. Because on Friday... Oh, you did. No, we had the voice acting contest, right? There was a bunch of other places that I wanted to have gone to. On Friday, I went to the dance contest. Because I'm aware that the dance contests are fire. they're really cool. Watching people dance, it's really fucking cool, and you get to like kind of jam with the music and stuff. I really like listening to music at these furry events. So I went to the dance comp. I asked Jolin to come, and my enjoyment was it was squared. It was increased an order of magnitude because I hung out with him and I cuddled during the entire time. You know, we held hands very gaily and stuff during the dance comp. And obviously there was one the dance comp, there was one guy who went up on stage and had like a panic attack, and they just decided I don't want to go, so they like kind of like just quit. And I think the organizers of the event had to like kind of like scramble to like reassign people and whatever, which was a shame because like the person that he was gonna go against apparently was a really good dancer, and I didn't get to see them dance. I only got to see them dance once, and they were disqualified immediately because they went against someone who was like equally good, right? Byler, yeah, I have a fursuit. I do indeed. I make it, right? I do like once or twice a year. I do fursuit building streams for like a week or a month at a time. How is you? I'm doing good. The convention was amazing. I just returned yesterday from it, which was last week. But yeah, I didn't go to the. I don't think. Oh right, after the dance contest, which was fire, by the way. Again, Jules won, which I was expecting. Jules is a dancer. He's a mop dog. He is an incredible fucking dancer. He's like American German. Like I went to. He apparently Jolin knows him and he invited him to his room party, and he's a really good singer. And I'm just a huge fan of him. And I was at the same room party as him, and it was great. Jules also did Insane Limbo. I mean, he's really flexible. He's a really good dancer. So yeah, tell them what happened. Yeah, the guy had a panic attack and quit, and so it was hard. But the dance comp was fucking incredible. Every dance comp that I've ever gone to, I've never been disappointed to a dancing event. Like watching people fucking like rip fire on the dance floor. You know, like 1v1. This was like a dance contest, so it was like a dance fight. So like you would have one person on one side, another person on the other side. They would like vote on a music, kind of like you would pick a random track, and based off of a random track, you have to do a dance for like 30 seconds, and whoever dances best is picked by a jury of 3 judges to do it. I actually thought it was really, really, really dumb that juries could just like pick to like neutral. Like they could just abstain. I thought that was really dumb. Like what if one person abstains and then the other 2 people like vote on each of them, right? That means there's a tie. And if there's a tie, you have to have a tiebreaker, which means that the fursuit dancers have to dance more in fursuit. Not everybody is up for that, right? Didn't expect an event at the dance comp. Yeah. So yeah. So it was fucking amazing, and I was not disappointed, and it was really cool. I knew it was going to be really good, and I had a really good time. And also, Jolin was there, and I got to cuddle him for the entire time. And we then actually afterwards went out for sushi, and it was just an amazing night. It was awesome. It was fucking incredible. The following day, I circled here in my thing that I wanted to go to the sketchbook exchange, maybe the fursuit Grand Prix, the fursuit making Q&A. I wanted to have gone to this, and then the fursuit parade. But I had stayed up late. Why did I stay up late? I forgot why I stayed up late. But I stayed up late, so I slept in, and I took a lazy morning, right? So instead of like I didn't sleep in. I think I woke up at 8 or 9 a.m. And then instead of immediately going to like getting dressed and eating and blah blah blah, I took my time. I scrolled like YouTube Shorts. I watched videos. I sewed some. I went to have breakfast. And then I think I left my room. Yeah, this was the day that my whole afternoon was busy. I left my room at like 1 p.m. So after all of these events that I wanted to have gone to. So I missed the Grand Prix, which I know was like your baby. I'm sorry, Proto. And then, oh yeah, the guy. Oh yeah. That. Hold on. I'll go back to that after I finish my point. I went. So I left my room at 10. At 1, and then I went down, and then I met Jolin, and Jolin was like, "Oh, we're gonna go for food. You want to go for food?" And I was like, "I literally just put on my fursuit. I kind of wanted to hang out, but I guess it's probably a good idea if I decide to have food now." So I went. So I got back immediately, redressed myself. And then, got out of fursuit and then went to the Pokeball place and then waited 2 hours for having fucking Pokeball and missed a bunch of the other events that I wanted to have gone to, like the fursuit making Q&A. Holy shit. But whatever, right? Right. Wait, Neth. It's not informing everyone. During the dance cop, the previous winner, not a judge, did a short performance, and after that, person called onto stage and proposed to her, and there and then. Yeah, that was like... Okay. Yeah, there was someone who fucking proposed at the dance comp on stage, like in between the dances, between one of the judges and someone else. That was like, oh my god. Like if that doesn't raise the hype, I don't know what will. I thought it was really cringe. I was like, the thing is like, objectively it's cringe a little bit. Like if I say it in a certain way, it's like, okay, you will propose to your girlfriend on a furry dance competition where people are there to watch other people dance in fursuit. So you're like taking a break from doing this, not only like at a furry event, but at a furry dance event. Like, okay, like how bad does your relationship have to be that that's the case? If I say it like that, it sounds really cringe, right? Which is technically objectively the case. If I phrase it in another way, I can phrase it a lot better. I can be like, you will propose to your furry girlfriend at a furry event with all of your friends and fans and basically like your chosen family, like on a big stage on a cool event where everyone is watching and you can have like a crowd cheer for you as you're proposing, right? And it's like it'll make not only the event even more memorable for you. You'll never fucking forget this, right? I could say it in that light, and then it sounds a lot better, right? Furries having girlfriends. Now I know you're telling a tall tale. No, there's a lot of girls in the fandom. Okay, it's just the thing. Okay. So, well, asterisk, I guess. The fandom is composed mostly of guys, right? But it does have girls and a bunch of non-binary pals, etc., and everything in between. Because a lot of the fandom is queer, like a huge percentage of the fandom is queer. I think it's like it's very, it's organized very well. Like a third of the fandom is gay, a third of the fandom is bi. No, not a third. It's 30% bi, 30% gay, 30% straight, and 10% other, right? Like ace and air, whatever, right? Like it's actually very well split. The straight furries, there's more out there than what you would believe. Like this is a girl, right? This hyena is a girl. She's a Portuguese furry. I didn't know that I met here, right? What's Ibercon all about? Having fun, meeting people, and making memories, even if we are 2 or more countries. So gosh, yes, but they're lesbians. Yeah, and the thing is, like, as I was saying, it's 30-30-30-10, right? And the thing is, like, the fandom is mostly guys, and only it's like 90% guys and 10% girls, right? The thing is that the girls are also split 30-30-30, right? So 30% of those 10% are straight girls that are furry. You know, 30% are bi and 30% are gay, So lesbian, and then 10% other, right? Bi only displays interest in men. It doesn't matter if you get turned on by women. That you're still bi. We used to say something in the gray Muslim community. By and large, furries are by and large. I wouldn't know. I don't know about large, but yeah. Objection, presents Greg. Greg is mostly interested in men, but most are just jailhouse gay. Hi, Doran, by the way. Yeah, hello, Doran. Okay. Proto. Continuing to talk about the events. Yeah, so basically I didn't go to any of the events in the afternoon on Saturday, and I just went to the Fursuit Parade. Yeah, that's actually literally the only event I went to on Saturday. I only went to the Fursuit Parade on Saturday. There was a bunch of fun stuff on Saturday that I wish to have gone to, but again, I think hanging out with friends is more important than going to events, personally. Obviously, ideally, you go to the events with people, but, you know. I didn't, so if you couldn't tell, not even Whispers, no. I know Whispers, too. I've also, not even Bullforia, again, not even Furry Bingo, right? Fonz and Pheasant, Whispers, oh gosh. I didn't even go to, dude, I didn't go to basically like any, yeah, I didn't go, so yeah, the Saturday, I basically like just hung out with Jolan, went to the Fursuit Parade, and then hung out with Jolan some more and went to his room party on Saturday. I didn't go to the, oh, no, I did go to the casual dress party a little bit, I danced a little bit, and that's when, after that, I went to his room party, I believe. Yeah. That's what we did. I went to the Fursuit Parade, then had dinner with him, and then went to the casual dress party, and then went to his room party. So again, I didn't really go to many events. And then on Sunday, I mean, there was really fucking nothing. I woke up really early to go to the Portuguese Furs meetup. And it was funny, but like, it wasn't really great. It was really great. It was funny. I'm not gonna. It wasn't fun. It was funny because it's like it was like a trivia show.
Your redeem sound off.
Your redeem sound off. I'm aware. It's because I'm recording this and I'm gonna put this on YouTube. And it's why I'm gonna keep I'll take my shirt off and keep it off for the rest of the stream or whatever. But yeah, the Fursuit, the Portuguese Furs meetup, it was basically like a trivia show where we were split into 3 teams, and we had to answer a bunch of questions about Portugal, but they were like obscure-ish questions. They were like,
hello, YouTube.
They were like the face. They were like, you have to say the flag of each freguesia, so each like the little district or whatever. So you had to know them, like you had to know a bunch of Portuguese kings. Like one of the questions was like, what was the first Portuguese queen? What was the king that planted the a pine tree forest, right? It was a bunch of true or false questions. I didn't have a really good time. So I went to cuddle with Jolan. I missed the pause meet. Then there was the auction and the artist alley. I didn't go to the Ibercon Insight or the feedback session, which I wish I would have gone to. But I heard that it was rough. Hold on, actually, is he here? Is he? Yeah. Flames. This Fox guy went to the feedback session, and he said that it was just a bunch of the con-goers flaming the staff. And he felt bad, and he didn't have a good time going there, Flames, this guy. Because, again, he just felt bad for the staff, and he then afterwards, like, went to talk to the staff and said that this was, like, the best con of his life, and that he really, really enjoyed it. You missed all the neat items in the auction. I know. Like, okay, so yeah, and then I went to the closing ceremony, and then to the Deck Dogs party. The closing ceremony was pretty good. It was pretty good. Proto was obviously on stage. I think, if I'm being honest, I mean, it was the closing ceremony. Like, I'm not really expecting much. the announcement of the next year's thing, fucking fire. Amazing. I loved that. Holy fuck. Bobby and Adri, I mean, talks. I don't know who the other suitor is. Who Adri's suitor is. But, amazing suitors. I love their fucking energy. The mascots, like having like a convention mascot is like a genuinely incredible idea. And obviously, I don't know if there's like a Spanish furry group, but I know that there is a Portuguese furry group, right? Euforia, and Bobby is Euforia's mascot, right? And they're both, and because of that, we have the joint mascots of Spain and Portugal for Ibercon, which I think is it's genius. It's genius because Ibercon, Iberian Con for the two countries, it's so good. Yeah, the closing ceremony. Oh my god, like, okay, you asked for like a lot of applause for like for everyone, right? I know that like for the thing is like for the guest of honor, and then all the like performances, for the concerts and the DJs and everything is like, okay, that was like a lot of time of fucking like asking for applause. I get it, but like I just thought it was a bunch. Whatever. There's nothing you can do about that. That's something you have to do, and it's a good idea to do, and there's nothing you can do about it. And I just thought it was a little much, but whatever. Right? It was good. It's just I thought it was a bit much. What about your energies? Oh, it was good. Yeah. How I tried to dump all the info and even pull off raffles. Yeah, the raffle was good. Yeah, the raffle was good. I like that. I absolutely liked how you and what was his name? The other guy, whatever. Like bounced off of each other. It was really fun. It was fun. I liked it. Yeah. It was good. It was great. I gave you one note, which is, again, yes, there are a lot of applause, but again, it's something that's a little bit inevitable, and that's along what is expected. It was above average, I would say that. Pocket, yeah. It was above average, I would say. So, I'm not really expecting much out of a closing ceremony. The closing ceremonies at EF are pretty mid. You basically talk about, the only interesting thing that you talk about at the closing ceremony are the numbers, the attendance numbers, and they were the same as the like beginning ceremony numbers. The charity, yeah, I should have done it as a charity, but whatever. I actually ended up super broke because of the hotel like charged me more money, so I guess it ended up working out. What was I saying? I was saying something about the closing ceremony. Yes. So again, very average, a lot of clapping. The AV team with the review of the con, fucking fire. Holy shit, that was so good. The AV team fucking knocked it out of the park. And the announcement for the next year's con, amazing. And the and the raffle was good too, right? It was pretty good. It was pretty good. But and then after the dance contest, I think I went to hang out a little bit before going to the no, hold on. No. Yeah, after the closing ceremony, let me open up the thing. I opened up on Friday. After the closing ceremony, I went to the Deadlocks party, and that's that. Jolan went to the Outer Wilds to meet the con chair, and he apparently had a very emotional time because I haven't played Outer Wilds, but apparently Outer Wilds is about saying goodbye, and having that be the last thing that you do at a convention is like, you just want to fucking like bawl, right? It's like, yeah, I'm saying goodbye to everyone at the con. Yeah, this game is about saying goodbye. He just fucking bawled his eyes out, apparently. I'm on a random pets video. That was really dumb. That was really dumb, but in a fun way, right? I was like, what the fuck is this? Whose pets are these? Like, there's a fish, there's a betta fish here. Oh my god. That was funny. It was funny. It was good. It was funny. It was a W. It was a weird W. Sure. And then I went to the dance party, and I stayed the entire fucking dance party, like an hour and a half of just fucking dancing. When I went, oh right, because when I went to these, okay, so you guys can see my outfit during these times, right? Like I'm fully covered. Here's my like more nerdy outfit where I have like a hoodie jacket, and like my arms are exposed. My furry fur arms are exposed because I have my longer fursuit paws. Oh, on day one, I didn't take any pictures. And here, on my other outfit, is like a jacket. It's a lot more formal and nice, right? Like, basically, you could see that I'm covered, like, head to toe the entire time, all of the time, at these, during the day. However, during the dances, I wonder if you can see it. Probably not, because of the way I take selfies. During the dances, I actually so during the relaxed dress code at Eurofurence, I think they have a quote unquote relaxed dress code night, but this is Germany we're talking about. This is Germany. This is Germany we're talking about. Relaxed dress code in Germany means full leather, full gimp suit kind of situation going on, okay? Like, and obviously you're talking about this like you can only do so late at night, right? Here it was like you still have to kind of be dressed. Maybe you show a little bit more skin. I think the announcer, the one of the people that were like dancing at the I don't know if they're one of the DJs. I don't know their situation. They were dressed only in tape. They had hazard tape on, covering their titties and their ass, but they very surreptitiously let like a window of ass show specifically. And I was like, oh my god, so this person is dressed fully, but with like a very skimpy like top and like pencil skirt, essentially. So I was like, oh my god, this obviously people had like I thought it was a little okay. So hold on, maybe Proto can answer me this. Why is leather not allowed, right? Apparently, because Jolin said that he was gonna wear a harness, or that Danji has a harness. Danji was his roommate, the person that he went with, the bear. He had a harness, but it was leather, so he couldn't take it. A bunch of other people had harnesses, but they were like the fursuit harnesses that are they're like a kind of fabric material. People could have take collar. Like people had pup hoods, but they were like neoprene pup hoods. Someone had a rubber pup hood. Oh, here we go. Oh, you can't see like a real leather because it's a full animal skin for product. I think that's it. What does that mean? If they helped you, all the pets deserved the shout out. Yeah. Staff therapist, okay. Same thing with animals with animal fur. I have no idea. I'm not in on that. Wait. Leather as the material, yeah. Wait, so fursuits with real fur are not allowed at furry conventions? Is that a thing? I mean, I understand why that particular part, but why not leather? Leather is a little different, I feel, personally. Also, I mean, that means if, yeah, banned for moral reason. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, here in this picture, these are the pictures I took of myself. You can see, here you see Pete and some other people. This is like at the end of the dance, right? So I stayed for the entire time, right? During the relaxed dress code night where I went to dance, and this night when I went to dance, I put on some like sweatpants and a tank top and my fursuit, and that is it. I did not have, because like again here, by the way, this Mizutsune fucking like fursuit ain't fucking insane. Oh right, I haven't even like gushed over the fursuits. Hold on. As I said on this about my getup, I have fucking like 7 layers or 6 layers of clothes. I think it's 6 layers of clothes. I have Under Armour, cooling vest, t-shirt, shirt, jacket, and fursuit. Yes, 6 layers of clothing. In when I went to the relaxed dress code and the rave, the Dead Dodge Party rave, I had 2 layers, which was, or maybe even just 1. Actually, only 1. I had a tank top on, and the fursuit, technically, and again, the cooling is a lot better because I have my arms exposed. I can actually sweat, and the sweat actually escapes my skin and evaporates, and it cools me off. So I danced the whole fucking time. I have not gotten that much exercise in like a year. Like at these furry conventions, obviously you walk a lot, you stand a lot, but I did not. I just went super fucking hard. And there was one person who I will say that they disclosed that like danced with me and like would like rubbed me up and down, and I was like super sweaty. And I thought it was like slightly weird, but I was also very flattered, you know. Yeah, it was a banger. I actually, okay, so Jolan, the previous night when we were at the relaxed dance code party, said that the fursuits can just like walk up on stage and dance, and there are like some stairs here you can kind of, hold on, if I do this, no, you can't see. Okay, I'll come over here. You can kind of see that there's some stairs here, right? Yeah, and then some fursuits could just like go there and dance, and there were some fursuiters that like went there and danced the entire fucking time. I probably could have. I'm very shy, and I didn't want to do that. Yeah, apparently, I don't know. This was the information that has been told about me. Okay, that is the entire event. Okay, so Proto, as you can see from how I talked about the events, right? I didn't go to very many. I went to very few, right? I can name in less than 10 the number of events that I went to. And the ones that I went to, I didn't have a very good time. I also say in the same breath that there is like 5 or 6 events that I really, 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 really would have wanted to go to, but I was busy with other stuff or fell asleep or other shit came up, right? That's just how cons go, right? And that's why my review of the events is mid. The ones that I went to were very few, and they were pretty mid. And the ones that I didn't go to probably were amazing, and I didn't go to them, right? I didn't go to the concerts, the Fonz and Friends concert, the Whispers concert, right? I didn't go to the raves, as many as I wanted to have gone to, right? I didn't go to, you know, I didn't go to the Triple Pause concert. I didn't go to the Vor meets. I didn't go to the Fursuit games. I didn't go to the Art Jam. I didn't go to the photo shoot. I should have. That's one of the bigger ones. I was like, fuck, that's a really one that I really would have wanted to go. I didn't go to the Fursuit Grand Prix. I didn't go to the Sketchbook Exchange, which I should have gone to. I didn't go to the Fursuit Making Q&A, or the Bolfria Mini, or, you know, like, I could have gone to a lot more events that I didn't go to, that were probably all better than the ones that I did go to, right? I went to, the one with, oh my god, Thursday? Yep, hold on, wait, is this Thursday? I went to the science panel with Luis. He was really nervous. It was pretty lousy, right? I went to the opening closing ceremony. I went to the guest of honor meet and greet. I went to the Fursuit 101, which was pretty mid. I went to the karaoke, which was cut short. I went to the furry visual panel, which I didn't go there because I wanted to. I was going there because Jolan went there. And Isa, I think also went. I think, and they were both going. So obviously I wanted to go. I went to the dance contest, which was the best one, by the way. Right. And then what? And then I went to the Fursuit parade. And like the relaxed dress code party, and the Portuguese for meetup, and then the closing ceremony, and so if like I list them again, there's less than 10, And the ones that I made were either like main stage ones, which were pretty good, right? Like the dances, the opening and closing ceremony, the dance contest, which were really good, which as I was expecting. And then the actual like panels that I went to were very bleh, right? The furry visual novels one that I didn't really like. The science panel, the Portuguese furs meetup, like those were very mid. That's why I'm like, I'm sorry that I'm stabbing you in the heart. I know that you're the events coordinator, Proto, but like, you know, I'm being honest about it. Okay, I need to send a message really quickly. Hold on. Which is 7. I can't do this. Okay. Okay, let's talk a lot about, let's gush over the fursuit pictures that the pictures that I took. Okay, so obviously, I will just preface this with I'll just preface this with I fursuited basically the entire time. I'm sure anyone that is in my chat that also went to the convention can attest to. I spent more time in suits than out by a fairly large margin. Okay, yeah. So let's gush over some fursuits, okay? Were there any fursuits that I thought were pretty lousy? I mean, the thing is, you really can't tell that, because normally when fursuits look pretty lousy, it's because a person made them, and you're just fucking insulting their work, right? And it's like, this isn't for you, this is for them. Fizz, welcome in. Hi. So there was only like 1 or 2. Like most of the fursuits were like fucking incredible, right? And I didn't even take pictures of the most incredible ones or anything. I took actually a couple, but again, I'm just gonna gush over them. So these are the pictures that I took. These are the only type of selfies. Oh wait, you can tell me that my outfit is different. I have like a white hoodie kind of situation going on here. These are the only selfies I can take. This was during the opening ceremony. Oh yeah, so this is my flight over there. It was pretty cloudy. I took these pictures because I thought the clouds looked nice. It looked like a sea of clouds. It's like, you know, I like it. I guess the pictures are also a little bit out of order, but this is the opening ceremony, I think. I'm pretty sure. This is the reg line. Here we have Rusky over here. Here you have a trash panda. Oh my god. A raccoon who was really cute that I didn't get to take a picture. He was Ruffy. I really loved his fursuit. He was also very chubby and very snuggly. He has a I love his badge as well. He wanted to take we saw the stairs going to the -1 floor, which is I think the parking lot or something. And he saw it and he wanted to take like a creepy picture there, and I took this creepy picture. It wasn't that creepy. If it was darker, it would have been better. This fursuit, holy fuck, so fucking cool. He's a shark. Oh my god, this fursuit's they have a long, oh my, I just now noticed. They have fucking tail bags. The positive don't have pads. But oh my god, look at this. This fursuit's so fucking hot. Holy shit, look at this. It's probably the best, one of the best looking fursuits that I took a picture of. And you know, hugs. And this is Danji. I already talked about how his head is the type of head that I want to have. I really wish I really wish I would have asked him to like try on his head or like inspect it a little bit, because Danji was Jolin's roommate. They came together here from the Netherlands, although he's Spanish. And I went to his room party, and he's pretty hot, right? Did you meet any DILFs? Depends on your definition. If your definition includes a person that is over 40 or that has actual children, probably not. Maybe. I don't know. But if your definition doesn't include that, and just people that are like taller, chubbier, hairy, bearded, most people there were in fact a combination of these adjectives. Very hot people, very hot people there. Yeah, this is Inza, yeah, the lion fursuiter. He's also one of Jolin's friends. He was way tall, pretty fat, very hot, very cuddly. I didn't get to cuddle him, but Enzo, yeah. I enjoyed shooting with him as well. Really good guy. Flames. I don't know. By the way, I don't know the names of basically like any of the people that I took pictures with. By the way, like I'll be like figuring this out. Pearly Flames. I have his Telegram because he messaged me. Because he took a pic. Because people are smart and take pictures of each other's badges, unlike me. We had a really good conversation. He's just like one of the random people that I kind of like took a picture with, and we had a really good conversation with. And by I took a picture with, I mean Isa was there and took a picture and was part of the conversation, and we were talking. He's French. He said this is one of the best con that he's been to, because he goes to all the several French, because he's French, furry events, and he doesn't like them because the French people are very cliquey apparently, and they don't. And here people are a lot more welcoming, which is nice to hear. This was one of the dance parties. I think this was the relaxed dress code. This was one of the fursuit dancers at the event. They were really fucking cute. Look at them. I don't know who is this. I can't read the badge. Whatever. This is Jolin, by the way. I think he posted his picture on my Discord server. You can see it there, but I'm not sure I want to like share it with him. This is another one of his friends that I hang out with. Oh yeah, you kind of see this goat fursuit that I wanted to really take a picture of, but I forgot. I didn't get to. This Kai something. Bird furry, obviously really cute, really good suit. He has wings. He appeared in the closing ceremony. And he was on the same floor as me. Oh my god. He was a representative of the Chilean furry convention, which is one of the bigger furry conventions in Latin America. And he really sold me on wanting to go to a Latin America furry convention. So I might actually go to a Latin America furry convention at one point in my life. The Brazil is nice. If like at most of these conventions, I literally just stay at the convention center and or hotel. So I imagine it wouldn't. I know that Brazil isn't very safe, so I imagine that I would be pretty safe just staying at a hotel, right? But and obviously Portuguese. You know, I get to speak Portuguese there. Maybe I should learn how to speak Brazilian and like just have a Brazilian accent or something, and then speak Brazilian, Portuguese, and English. But obviously I could go to the Chilean one as well. There's also one in Argentina and Colombia and stuff. But he told me that the Latin America furries are like really, really passionate. And and like they cheer and they cry at the like all together at the closing ceremony, for example. And from what I know about the Latin America people, they are indeed very passionate. Like at both good and in a good and a bad way, right? Like at football events, they are really disruptive, but also like really loud and really cool, you know. And esports events, they're like the loudest, most cheerful crowd. They cheer with all their heart and soul. And so furries probably would be very much the same. And so that actually sounds like a really good time. Oh, this, I don't think the person inside is the owner of the suit, but they let him obviously suit. This moth furry, amazing. Look at this guy. It's such a good suit with the seams being like the scales. I was like, oh my god, your suit is so cool. Look at these scales. And I started like rubbing his and he was like, oh, and I was like, oh, sorry, I should have, whatever. This person, we hang out with, Isa with them, and they're really cool. They have like LED lights on their thing. It's a really cool suit. Again, pearly flames. We had a long conversation. It was really nice. Oh, the suit is so good. This suit over here with the scars and shit. Ah, oh, it's so good. And this one too, as well. A full suit. I love their bandana. I love their like visor thing. I love the colors. Obviously, it looks a little derpy, but like I'm not gonna complain. My old suit looks even worse than this. And this guy looks like he has a little bit of a scruff, a little bit of a beard. It's like that makes him really attractive. And he's again, a lot of the people here were very chubby leaning, and I was like, a lot of eye candy for me. Revel, apparently he's going to AF. This is another person I had a long conversation with. He talked to me about how he went to Kigurumi Kagetsu's workshop, and he's friends with Geppei, which is who is like one of the furry animators who makes like long sex animations. Ah, that's so good, right? That blue cuddly fox is the first furry I ever met. Oh, this guy? Cool. I mean, hell yeah. Oh, dude. Okay. I'm actually gonna. But yeah, and his head looks really good. It looks a little big and bulky. He has some paws. I think it would look good. I mean, I prefer heads that are like a little smaller and more conforming to the head. Rev, he's apparently like a 3D. He's like a VR chat maker, right? He makes models, rigs them, puts them in Unity and animates them and everything. And it's like, he's really good apparently. And he made the suit with after learning from Kigurumi Kagetsu, which is again insane. Bet he can give good head. Well, the bigger the head, the harder it is to get to your actual mouth. So probably not. Actually, this is a Kigurumi Kagetsu suit. Also, obviously, they're really high quality. Like me and Rev gushed a little bit about the quality of Kigurumi Kagetsu fursuits. They are the best, bar none. I have a favorite suit that is not to them, but like overall, they are like fucking insane. I don't know if they're like a Japanese or Taiwanese or Indonesian or something. The makers, holy fuck. This guy said that he went to Japan to meet Geppei, who is the owner of Kigurumi Kagetsu. So I guess it's probably Japan. They're probably Japanese, but yeah. Yeah, you see, the pictures are out of order. See, I was pointing at his scales. But like here you see that I'm like, oh my god, your suit looks so good. Look at these scales, and he was like, oh, I was like, I mean, yeah. Here, what is this? What is this picture? I guess I don't know what this picture is, but you can see a bunch of other different fursuits. Obviously, this is me who took the picture. You can see my giant furry finger here. This was the fursuit lounge was this way. Actually, you could see over here says fursuit lounge. This was the inside of the waiting room for the fursuit parade. You can see so many suits. Here you could see Max over here, and then tiny like in a little corner of him. You can see this Progen. These two German Shepherd furries. Enzo over here, which I was hanging out with because he is Jolin's friend, and I hung out with him. Here's what is his name? Let me open a Telegram and try and find his name. The purple suitor. Ah, fuck! I actually didn't download a lot of the pictures I took with other people. He was like, what's his name? Fuck. Nope, not this person. It was Saron. Yeah. This purple, I think that's the guy. That's him. You see this Iberian fursuiter, like, I should have taken more pictures like these, where there's like a bunch of fursuiters here. Here you see Danji. Here's Max over there in the corner. Oh, this was one of the dance competition. One of the dance comp people. Oh, yeah, I took a picture of this person. I really wanted to take a picture with this boar guy because I didn't see any boars, and I really like boars. But yeah, this is a bunch of really cool suits. This is Chomfo again. Amazing. I really like hang out. I had a lunch with him. This is I don't know who this is. Can I like fuck. I can't. There's one guy with a cook boar suit. Oh, and these pictures, you mean? Did I miss it? Oh, let's see. Who is this guy? Kaizen? I don't know. Kai something. Again, Mizutune as a fursuit, genius idea. Execution, pretty good. Pretty good execution. There is this one gif of Mizutune making out with you POV that is super gay and lives rent-free in my head. And I always think about it, and it always turns me on. Like, it's just this giant Mizutune having their way with you and they're making out with you. Oh my god. I mean, in general, I can't remember the name. Oh, you mean not here, not in these other things. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I guess I can, yeah, there was this Lynx guy who I also hung out with out of suit. But I forgot his name. Oh, here's Pete. Pete, I think he's a, dolphin? But I think he might be like a dolphin dragon now because he has like horns and a mane and stuff. Yeah, these pictures are over. This is a picture of Lisbon. Lisbon over here. I think this is a Stubal. This is the Hutej. Right? He's a hyena now. Pete is a hyena now? Really? Oh my god, well, he doesn't have a hyena fursuit, so. He's a hyena called Fish. That's funny. Yeah, this is one of the people that Isa met, that Isa befriended and that I hang out with. You can see him. It's really cool. This suit looks so fucking cute, and it's the realistic style of eyes. Isa asked me about him, and he's like, "Oh my god, the eyes look so cool." So obviously there's two types of eyes. They're literally like side by side here. Mine are the cartoony kind, where it's a mesh, and you can see out of the mesh. So I can see out of this whole circle. This is like a little plastic thing, a little plastic eye that you stick in it, and you see out of this tiny little triangle over here, like at the corner of the eye. That's where you see out of. That's diabolical. Like, the visibility on realistic eyed fursuits is terrible, and that's why I don't want to have one of those. If I ever made like a wolf fursuit, I would be a little bit more inclined to. Obviously, rats. If I made a rat fursuit, I would just have like two giant like boba balls as eyes or whatever. Yeah, this is another Portuguese furry. I didn't take a picture of their badge, of her badge. Yeah, these are other fursuiters. So one of the I think this was one of the dancers. Another Portuguese furry who they were talking a bunch. I didn't really want to interrupt them. I saw a couple of fursuits that had beards, and I was like, man, oh, again, body hair and beards and stuff is like the thing that turns me on the most. So it's like, yeah, this is a really hot fursuit that I really wanted to take a picture of. There's a couple others. There's this G-Shep. Took a picture of Sake. There you go. This is the type of badge where you can fucking see. Good. I actually need to make mine more like this. Maybe. Maybe. Really good. Cute paws, cute fursuit. Hell yeah. Chanfo. Again, he's a dingo coyote, I think. His son is amazing. The fursuit is really fucking cute. It honestly looks a little bit more like a kangaroo, but I'm not gonna say that to him. Again, we had lunch together. Cool. Oh yeah, here's Saran. Saran, this purple dragon guy. Yeah, these chefs, Shepskian greats. Right. Oh, here's Bobby over here, the mascot. My lunch, my dinner. Yeah, the party. Yeah, these pictures are. Yeah. Oh my God, look at this. I don't remember the name of this Pokemon. But look at him, right? Fucking amazing. Look at it, it's so good. Yeah, this service for their eyes looked like so hot. I mean, I really like them. Oh, I did take more than one pictures. Pokemon is I said did I say Digimon? No, I said, did I say Pokemon? They're Digimon. Sorry. All right, and that's it. Yeah, I guess about all of these fursuits again. I mean, they're cuddly. Oh my God, this fursuit looks fucking nuts. Okay. Well, that will be that for my con review 20 Ibercon 2026 review. I already went on for like probably way too long. Yeah. Here we go.